Hi. No, I was putting myself in a peaceful mind space by listening to classical music. And now I have to hit the pre-roll. I got to hit the pre-roll, everybody. We're going to pre-roll. Here we go. Wakey. All right, fine. If you don't want classical music, then we'll do some rhythm and beat. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Welcome in. Actually do that. Tried. Not good at it. Yo, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Happy Thursday. Sounds the same. All right, guys. Good evening. Welcome in. We are getting ready to start the show. We got a minute until air and a minute until our audience returns, and then we'll start and get some things going. Yo. Hey, what's up? You guys starting a hype train already? Thank you, Texas guy. Thank you. Papa Smurf, appreciate that. All right, you guys, daggone it, Dominus Prime with 5 gifted, keeping the hype train alive. Here we go, hype alive, and it's gonna last through the intro, so we can keep going, and you guys can do all the hype. Listen, lots of hype. I like the hype. Very, very good at that. UltimatDJz. This is Talking Trek live on your Thursday night. Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. My name is UltimatDJz. Thanking you very much for being here with us tonight. Hello, one and all. Thank you guys very much. What's happening? What's happening? Listen, it's podcast night, so we got to start. Hey, thanks, Texas guy. We got to start with the Talking Trek server sound off. You guys go ahead and punch it up in the chat, and let's see where everybody is from tonight. Devil in the Belfry. That is so small. And then Tarpy said...
She said...
I can't. Yeah. Devil in the Belfry on 14. Thank you, Raj on 9. Dirty Bird Bill. Washy Flagship 15. Thank you very much. Sherlock Holmes on 27. Martok on server 8. Tarpy on 70. Scaly back from the Outback on 193. Benny Hills Ghost on 42. Thank you. Strider Proud Feet on server 70. What's up? Everywhere It Matters on 56. Wolfwood on 49. Popping into the YouTube chat, we see Mike on server 8. Wristbreaker on 70. What's going on? JR on 72. Relentless on 74. Semi-Charmed Light on 63. See John Drill on 32 over here. What's going on? See Engineering on 36. Don Zeno on 136. Shadow Sheep on 133. Polish Prince on server 24. Jason Cash on 13. Johnny 5 on server 44. Divine on 164. Q on 22. Is it just Q or Captain Q? Hey, Q. What's going on? Game 2, you're on 30. Rico on 45. Indominus Prime on 53. Thank you. Out for drinks with Spectre and Juby. Oh, my God. That must be terrible. That must be awful. That sounds terrible. I'm
Wait,
kidding.
who's out for drinks with Juby?
Indominus Prime is out with Spectre and Juby. You guys must just
God,
be
get the mojitos.
a bundle of joy over there. Camel on 8-pack 193. Raj on server 9. Iron Chef Aloha on 14. Thank you. Broken Wolf on server 99. Enterprise on 30. Wristbreaker on 70. Thank you so very much. Bel Air on the sexy server 70. And a bunch more. Golly, like 30, 40 some. Almost 50 additional messages. Thank you so very much. Welcome in to the show, everybody. Appreciate you. We have, if you're in the live studio audience, we've got a hype train going on right now. What's going on? Narf! Thank you for hopping in. Narf! I just had a pinky in the brain kind of moment right there. No, don't laugh at me, Tarpy. All right?
I'm gonna laugh at you.
When I said that, who went back and immediately thought of pinky in the brain? Okay? I mean... Come on. That has to be his name.
Of a certain age.
Narf, thank you for hopping into the chat. Appreciate you being here. Indominus Prime dropping another 510 gifted to keep the hype train alive. General Mishap,
thank you for further back and thought about Snarf. From Tiger Cats.
Oh, yeah. No, I do remember Tiger Cats. I went, when I was just thinking Narf. I went to Pinky and Brain. Annie McGanny Face, thank you for the 26 months. General Mishap, 17 months. Thank you so very much. Indominus Prime, 100 kitty bitties. Odysseus, I want you to know how much I hate you.
And thank you for spending your toy mice on this. Guru, thank you for the 100 kitty bitties. Just Cube, 4 kitty bitties. Freelancer, 200 kitty bitties. Polish Prince wants a possum joke. I will do that. And Delisha, thank you for your 100 kitty bitties. Indominus Prime with another 5 gifted. Texas Guy with the 23-month sub. Papa Smurf with 100 kitty bitties. Angry Lou with the 14-month resub. Everywhere It Matters with the 23-month tier 3 sub. You guys are incredible. Thank you. Whew. It was a big list. That was a big old list that I had to get through, and I do have a possum joke for you to burn out these last couple of minutes while we're waiting on the hype train. Tarpy, just as a quick aside, the hype train has about 2 minutes left in it. We're level 5 already, and I will let you guys know that the other night when we were on Twitch, you guys carried us to a level 12, which means, Tarpy, how many Jizz 31s did we give away on stream the other night?
That was 3. You gave away 3 loads.
We gave... God. Tarpy, this is a family show. You can't say things like that.
What? It's a garbage truck. It's a garbage truck.
Oh, yeah, loads of trash. Got it. Got it. I'm so glad that you clarified because I'm a terrible human.
Yep.
I'm a terrible human. Okay. Here's your possum joke. Tarpy, what did the cat say when it went bankrupt?
Sorry, I'm still laughing for the last thing.
That's so funny. The cat, when it went bankrupt, it said, "I'm Paul." Get it? I'm Paul. Has it been 2 minutes? Please, for the love of God, tell me it's been 2 minutes. I'm not sure that it has. There's your possum joke. Thank you very much. And Venati has asked me to change the name. I'll do that here in just a moment when we hop inside the game. Good evening, yo, dude! No, you do not have 90 seconds left. Time is going to be up before
you know it. Oh, yay! All right. There we go. Thank you. Appreciate that. Guys, 40 seconds left on the Level 5 Hype Train. Good evening to you. Welcome in to all of you to Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. I am your host, UltimatDJz, Griffin in Orlando tonight doing some work. Dude, I'm telling you, that guy works more now in retirement than he did when he was working. I'm telling you. He's busy all the time. So he is in Orlando tonight. He'll be checking in with us a little bit later. And we'll have a little bit of fun with that. Thank you guys very much for the tons of fun that we've had together as a community this week. Tuesday was amazing. I really appreciate that. Last night and tonight, Oliver had baseball games, and he won both of them. Yes! We're 4-2. We're 4-2. Lieutenant Bennett dropping 10 gifted. Yo, thanks. Listen. For those of you who are new to the stream,
oh my gosh.
For those of you who are relatively new to the stream, I want you to know that we're giving away a cruise, okay? And these guys who are gifting subs, they're doing so with a purpose. They know what they're doing because when you gift a sub, then you're getting bonus entries into this cruise sweepstakes. Like, we're giving away a cruise. So when you come in here and you support the channel through gifting subs or with your own tier 1, 2, or 3 tier sub, your Prime sub, the Patreon subs, the YouTube Gold membership, all that stuff that you guys do to support the channel, you guys are earning subs, earning tickets into this sweepstake, into this raffle. And yeah, Tarpy, coming up in what, August? Is that when we said we were doing it, or September? Let's see. Yep. April, May, June, July. Yeah, so coming up in August, we're giving away a cruise. All right, it's a 4-month period that we're doing this. So April, May, June, and July. And even if it's not like an all or nothing thing, Tarpy, not only are we giving away a cruise, we're also giving away $1,000 in STFC currency. Yes. $1,000 in packs we're giving away. So that's what we do on this channel. We're all about giving stuff away. Here just a couple of nights ago, we gave away $300 just on a whim. The night before that, or maybe was it Sunday, Tarpy? I don't remember, that we gave away another $1,000 on $1,000. Yep. Holy smokes! And yesterday, I don't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, I took care of all of my prizes with Scopely on the charge account and paid, including the 3 from Tuesday night, paid $2,200 in STFC packs to our listening and viewing audience. $2,200 to you guys. Thank you guys so much. By the way, for those of you who had won a pack, I want you to know all packs have now been paid. Not the battle passes. The battle passes are still going to come, I think, later. I think at the beginning of next week is when they're scheduled. But all of the big packs, I asked them to rush the big packs because I know you guys wanted to upgrade your GS31s. All right, almost everybody took the GS31 pack, which is awesome, by the way. I'm very happy about that, but I wanted you guys to not get them at the end of the month, so I asked them to do them a little bit quicker, and they did, so I really appreciate that. Thank you to Beck and the Overlords for facilitating that, and so, yeah, $2,200, Tarpy, in, like, the last month, and we've got so much more to go.
That's crazy.
Thank you for your 29-month resub. See, that is earning you cruise entries as well. Can we petition Scopely to change the bonus converter tokens to be on a 13-day and 22-hour timer? You know what? I know. I know. It just keeps getting longer and longer. I'm eventually going to lose a day. Pong, you're 1,000% right. I'm eventually going to lose a day. You know, there's another redeem like that, and I know it doesn't really matter to a lot of people, but the other redeem that is that way is the independent credits in the I think it's in the Outlaw store or whatever. It's on a 7-day also. It's very weird. So
aren't the fancy faction recruits 24 hours?
Yes,
Yeah,
the
those are
Credum
24.
Formata
Like, not that people
turn-ins.
care about those either, but
Yeah, the elite recruit tokens are 24. Yeah, it messes with me. I know eventually I'm going to lose a whole day. Eventually, I'm going to lose a whole day. 40 seconds on the clock. We're in a level 6 hype train, 62% of the way through. Thank you guys so much for your crazy support. I appreciate that. And very quickly, hopping over into the chat for our channel point redeems before we begin tonight's show. I've got a name change popping up in here. The name change is DJz has squishy ships. You know, they're not that squishy. Okay? They're not that squishy. It was Envenadia. Thank you. Odysseus, appreciate your toy mice. Polish Prince redeemed the possum joke. And Divine and Skyfire have the hydrates. Tonight's show sponsored in part by Blue Raspberry Sour Patch Ghost Energy. 200 milligrams of natural caffeine, 1,000 milligrams of carnitine for legendary energy, epic focus, zero sugar, and zero crash with 100% of 4 daily vitamins and minerals. It is Ghost Energy. Tonight, we are choosing Blue Raspberry Sour Patch. And honestly, that's just because it's what I have left. I have had entirely too much Ghost Energy in the last few weeks. Tarpy, I ordered 30 cans at the beginning of this month. It's the 17th, and I'm almost out. Yeah.
Wait. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I have had too much. But I do appreciate it. Thank you guys for the hydrate. Everybody hydrate with me with your Ghost Energies. I feel myself being energized already. That was silly. Was that cheesy? That was cheesy. Wardod says, you keep promoting Ghost Energy. I hope you're being paid. Obviously, we're not at all being paid. All right. The company's way too big for us. It's like Bafty and Taco Bell. She loves it. She talks about it. It's just her thing. This is Griffin's thing. All right. And it's become my thing. I really like it. I like it. I know Benny Hill says, you've gone through 30 cans in 17 days. Yeah, it's only 2 a day. Remember, you got to remember that one night I drank 3 of them, and I told you that was like beyond the limit, right? That one night I had 3, and that was too much. All right. Mimi says, obviously Griffin is getting paid, and DJz is just shilling out of habit. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. That is actually probably completely accurate. All right. I Kill You says 1 is too much. No, they're delicious. I had orange creamsicle earlier today at work. That's what I had. Okay, listen, we've got things to do today. Got lots of stuff to talk about today. As a matter of fact, hold on. I gotta read this real quick. Jason says, I've been working on trying to convince my wife to go, even though she's not a Trekkie. She is from Poland, and we live in the United States. A childhood friend of hers lives in France, and it turns out her friend's boyfriend is a huge fan and wants to go so badly on the cruise. This might work out in my favor. Come on, honey. You should really reconnect with your childhood friend, crossing fingers that it works. You know what, Jason? I hope it does work. And let me tell you something. There are people from all over the world that go. And I was talking, Tarpy, we actually had this very conversation when we were on the cruise this past year about, like, is there stuff to do for people who are not Trek fans? The answer is absolutely. Yeah. All the normal stuff that you could do on any normal cruise, you still get to do. All right? You still have all of that stuff available. You just have the Star Trek stuff that's extra, extra stuff to do. So while you're doing the Star Trek stuff, your wife, was it wife or girlfriend? Your wife, okay, can be in the spa or at the pool or trying the restaurants or drinking wine and doing all the things. Okay, you could do all the stuff. Hey, Bob of War, first time chatter. My favorite assimilated cat is online. Thank you. And you're a first time chatter. That means you never get to catch us. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And enjoy your free complimentary sub everywhere it matters, hooking you up with a gift sub. Thank you, Matters. Appreciate that very much. Matters will enjoy his entries into the cruise contest, and Bob of War gets 30 days on the channel to play with the emotes and not have to listen to commercials. All that stuff. That's right, Caledon. Listen, during that week, Jason, you can spend your pack money and in the casino, right? You could go to the casino. There's fun dining. You could do all that stuff. Or you could just hang out with us because we're a great group of people. All right? It's fantastic. All right? And if you happen to have any single lady friends, they can come along too. Just saying. Moving right along.
With the pineapples.
Make sure your pineapples are upside down.
You did news.
Oh yeah, I did. I wrote the news. You want to go ahead and do that real quick? We've got work to do. We've been on the air for 20 minutes. Okay, this is DJ's time, isn't it, Tarpy? Listen, even if we get through the news, it'll still be record
20
fast.
minutes.
Yeah, to be record fast.
You have 20 minutes left.
I got, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, live from all across the world, it's time for Stupid News. Stupid. Time for the news, time for the news, time for the news, time for the news. Listen, Jason, Divine's got it right. Like, your wife does not have to ask what you're doing while she's at the spa. Like, there's no, what are you doing, honey? I'm hanging out. I'm getting my makeup done. I'm turning myself into a Klingon. Okay? Like, this is the greatest cruise ever to go on for you guys. All right? Even if she's not a Trekkie, there's still tons to do. All right? Tarpy's not a Trekkie. She'll hang out with her.
Until he shows up at her mud bath looking like a Ferengi.
Hey, honey, are you ready for some
You want me
umox?
to go easy on you.
Are you ready for some umox? Rub my ears.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God. Jason, does your wife know what umox is? I'm just curious. Forgotten Sex says, anyone know the name of DJ's 404 account? It's pretty obvious. I think it says, this is not DJ's. Or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's like very obvious. I was gonna hide, but I decided it wasn't worth it because I want to be able to play it. So, anywho, all right, lots of fun. Get going on it, Jason. Reconnect with your Polish friend. Her Polish friend. There you go. Tarpy, a total 918 people sat down at 150 tables this past week in Australia to play simultaneous games of Monopoly to break a Guinness World Record. And in true Monopoly fashion, all 918 people started fist-fighting each other. That happens with Monopoly. There were tons of people. All right, 918 people handling worthless money. Kind of like what's happened on Wall Street the last couple of weeks. So you got that. Thank you.
I thought you were about to do a Canadian joke. I would have accepted it.
I know. It's funnier. It's funnier in Wall Street right now. Heart-pounding video footage. I almost need a better music bed for this. Heart-pounding video footage captured a lone subway surfer dashing across the top of a J train in Brooklyn. First of all, is that a thing? Do people actually do that? I thought it was just a video game. Do people actually ride the top of subways? That's insane. Why would you ever do something ridiculous like that? My gosh, that is wild. So yeah, they caught video footage. of this guy dashing across the top of a J train in Brooklyn. It was so dangerous, in fact, Tarpy, that it could only be compared to actually being inside of a Brooklyn subway car, okay? I mean, right?
Dang.
I don't know. Production of the new film Day Drinker, which is Johnny Depp's first big movie in a number of years, is now underway. It's a fictional tale, but it's okay if you thought it was Depp's autobiography chapter about being married to Amber Heard. All right? It's possible you might have misunderstood that. Mark Webb, who directed the live-action adaptation of Snow White, is also directing Depp's movie Day Drinker, which is funny because day drinking is about the only way you could have made it through Snow White after all. So it was a double banger there. Rachel Ziegler, the star, of Snow White, was actually spotted this past week trying to go incognito while walking her dog in New York City. And you cannot judge. If you were starring in the new version of Snow White, you would be in hiding too, okay? It's not her fault. Actually, it's 100% probably. 80, 87.2. 62-year-old Tom Cruise and 36-year-old Ana de Armas were spotted together in London this past week, Tarpy, fueling more dating rumors. These two would really be kind of an interesting couple because there's a 26-year age gap and no height difference, all right? Oh, it's good. The Mission Impossible star and the Knives Out actress were seen stepping off his helicopter following a trip from Madrid. And Anna, of course, was nice enough to take Tom out of his car seat. So there's that. North Korea. Oh, my God. All right. This joke is going to offend somebody. I'm just telling you, but I like it. I'm reading it anyway. North Korea. Tarpy recently held its first Pyongyang International Marathon in 6 years, which was easy for North Koreans to participate in because they're pretty much used to running for their lives.
You're horrible.
That's all right. North Koreans won't hear it.
Yeah, our broadcast is forbidden in North Korea, so you don't have to worry about it. We also have received... We've also received confirmation that Kim Jong-un did not actually participate, Tarpy, because all the ice cream trucks were already parked at the palace. So. and ladies and gentlemen, that is your stupid news. Oh, my God. Hell, there you go. Karkin on a scale of 1 to 10. All right. I feel like that was a solid set. Seriously, I feel like that is probably like a good solid 8.8, 9.2, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Still laughing.
That's good. I would like to welcome a guest in our chat. She is a fellow Star Trek fan and a DJ to boot. We found her on Twitch this past week thanks to a raid recommendation from someone in our community. Ladies and gentlemen, the Jadzia Dex is in our chat. What's going on? How are you? She is a DJ. She's a DJ. Hence the decks, okay, like CD decks, record decks, yeah, the decks. But she's also a Trek fan. Her name is a play off Jadzia Dax. Tarpy, it does not get much nerdier than that. I mean, truthfully,
No.
That's nerd 101% right there. Jadzia, thank you.
We appreciate our clever wordplay.
We do.
Yeah.
We love it. We love clever wordplay around here. So thank you so much for being a part of our audience and welcome in. Thank you for the sub everywhere it matters. Gifting Jadzia a sub, so now you get 30 days of notifications on this channel. There you go. I had one more, but I wasn't sure if I was going to read it or not because you know what? So I was writing this one, Tarpy, and then I got to thinking, I do still like a few parts of Saturday Night Live. You know, it's not like completely unfunny. I like some parts of it. All right, like Weekend Update with Colin and Michael Che. Colin, what's his name? Colin Jost and Michael Che. They're very funny. I like those two. They're probably the best. They're the best that's on the show right now. But see, I wrote a joke and then I was like, yeah, it probably won't land because they're actually funny. See, now Leon says, I like the part when it's over. See, okay, here was the headline. Saturday Night Live had to issue an apology this past week for making fun of White Lotus star Amy Lou Wood's teeth. In a sketch this past week, they made fun of it. And then I was going to suggest that, you know, while they're at it, they should also apologize for not producing comedy for the last 25 years. All right? So, that was my joke. But then I got to thinking, all right, you know, Colin and Michael, they're pretty funny. I kind of like those guys. I could watch their clips for a long time. You know, so I like those guys. Anyway, welcome, everybody. Appreciate you guys all being here. My name is UltimatDJz. Let's get into the game. Star Trek Fleet Command, we are their official podcast, and we've spent 33 minutes not talking about the game, but that's what we do. This is DJ time. But it is time to hop into the game. So, Tarpy, let's go ahead and do that. We've got a few things that I want to cover tonight. First of which is the name change. Yes, DJ has squishy ships. Appreciate that. They're not actually squishy. I'm doing very, very well with my ships right now. I'm liking them. I like them very much after these latest upgrades. And we're going to talk about whether or not you should be doing upgrades this month because there is the heroic Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 officer recruiting milestones for our friend from Section 31, Quasi. All right, Quasi is in here. So tonight we're going to have Matters break down a little bit about what Quasi is doing and whether or not he's worth the investment. Yes, my ships are wrecked because Jonathan Ingram cracked me. Leave it. Okay, they don't look very well at the moment. Yeah, I get that because it wasn't Jonathan Ingram. It was Diplo. Diplo came and whacked me. All right. So
Hey, did you get cracked with a Rotaran?
Yeah. No, I didn't get cracked. Look, it was a victory. But I mean, he killed a lot of my he killed my ships for sure. Killed all my ships. But I had weak ships. Because I was doing other things. Like I had my Tier 4 relativity. Yeah, shields. Who shields?
Excuses.
I don't shield. Anyway, listen. Let's talk a little bit about the things that are going to move quickest first, ladies and gentlemen. New Additions has a new button, ladies and gentlemen. Vindicator parts have finally made their way into the event store. Yes. Let's talk a little bit about the conversion rate here. Tarpy, at first glance, this does not feel great. Robotsky says, meh.
No.
Indominus Prime says, thank you, Nigel, for getting this done. A lot of people were working on this. I know Nigel was very, very vocal about it. Who is flying a Vindicator? Well, I'll tell you, Cruzito. Vindicators are flying with high tiers and a lot of big VIP whales. Okay. This ship holds up at the higher tiers. It's not great down here. Okay. But don't forget what Jules told us about the DPR of this ship and how the specialty ships are kind of starting to take over. The Vindicator is pretty daggone strong at a high level. Okay. So it's going to take a long time to get there using the native path. What we're talking about is actually perfect today, being that it's a Thursday, because you get one event a week to work on this Vindicator, okay? It is the Dimensional Breach event. Mm-hmm. You get the Space Work Circuits. You get 2,100 of those, and then you get to come into the refinery and come all the way down here to the Vindicator refinery where you get to pull Lorca skill points, which do also increase as you tier up the ship. And you earn parts. Now, here's the deal. Every single day, I'm only tier 4. I can earn 270 Vindicator parts a day. All right? Vice versa, I can come into the event store and I can earn 500, literally 2 days worth for 7,500 currency. Now, Tarpy, if we were looking at math very early on here, I would say I don't know how I feel about that conversion. However, we are talking 20 pulls is the limit. All right? We're talking 20 pulls. That's the limit.
Yep.
We're talking 40 days worth of Vindicator parts for 150,000 loot. Now, let's monetize this.
Yep.
Let's monetize it, okay? If we were to take a look at the Vindicator pack, or, you know what, and we'll also look at an event store loot pack, all right? We'll look at an event store loot pack, but let's take a look at, first, if we can find it, Tarpy, the Vindicator. If we were to buy a Vindicator upgrade pack, $99, $100 would buy you 11,000 loot, okay?
Yep.
10,000, roughly, call it. Hey, listen, the math is easy on this, all right? It is 20 refines out of the event store. It's almost perfect math.
People are saying that goes up as you tier, though, so.
That's true. It does go up as you tier, not substantially, okay? It will go up a little bit. Goes up a little bit. But you're right.
I think it's by ops, not by tier.
It
So
does
it
go
goes
by
up by
tier.
ops.
No, goes up by tier. Okay? It is by tier. Wait, Mimi says it's op scaled. No, it's definitely tier scaled, guys. It's definitely tier scaled. If I tiered up, it will reset and pay me more. I am now
Are you sure?
That would be that's for the strong box.
Dude,
okay.
We talked about this for like an hour. So the refinery itself is tier based. The amount in the event store is ops based.
Oh, that makes sense. That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And yeah. So I just wanted to make sure we were clear in which one we were talking about there, because the chat seems to be talking about the event store. I think you were talking about ship tier.
Well, I was, but I was looking at the pack. All right, I was actually going into the pay store to look at the pack. Long story short, Mimi has this right. It's 20 pulls for $100 pack. Okay, that's how much you're getting. Whatever's in your $100 pack is what you can get if you pull all 20 pulls. Okay, there you go. So I'm looking at roughly 10,500, which equals a $100 pack. All right, and that would cost 150,000 loot. So if I come into the event store and I say, hey, listen, maybe I want to buy a loot pack, all right? Maybe I want to come in and I want to buy event store loot. I know that exists in here somewhere. Here we go. Let's look at the normal pack. And by the way, I am going to point out that there is a Limit 1 special pack that has 200,000 loot in it. It's a Limit 1, all right? But the normal pack has 120,000 loot in it, okay? 120,000 loot. So if you look at the historical pattern of Scopely here, we're looking at 150,000 loot to pull $100 worth of parts. There is a freemium Tarpy that they almost always built in. However, it's relatively close, meaning it doesn't matter what the pack costs. If you're a free-to-play or low-spend player, you can now actually earn with your event store loot a $100 pack worth of Vindicator parts that's going to speed up your Vindicator by 40 days. All right? And that is substantial given the fact that the Vindicator is ridiculously slow as it is. All right? Stupidly slow. Insanely slow. Asininely slow the Vindicator is to tier up. All right. So this is something, you know, one of the things that I used to talk about a lot, and I probably don't as much, and I should. When it comes to event stores, Tarpy, my advice from years ago is still kind of my advice today, to get what is the most difficult to source, right? To get the stuff that is the most difficult to source, because you can't earn it in other ways, right? You can earn certain things faster, materials, for example, all right? I'm infamously known for getting crystal over John Harrison back in the day, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that being said, J-Babe says it dies too fast on G6 Armadas. You can never really get more than one done with it. It depends on where your ops lock is and what your upgrade is. To be honest with you, I'm a tier 4. I don't use it at all. I don't use it at
Neither
all.
do I.
But
I'm
Griffin
6
does.
and I don't use it.
Matters does. Matters, tell us a little bit about your Vindicator.
My Vindicator can solo easily any of the G6 armadas except for the very top level. So 68 and up is no bueno, but it can just chew through everything smaller than that. Because of its shipability. It's got
the taunt.
It's got the taunt. It's got shield repair. It's got a massive boost to shield mitigation, which goes along great with the shield repair. It takes less damage than any other ship, and I use it all the time with my alliance. I send it out to carry them through armadas, and it's a relatively low-powered ship compared to what people would normally need to spend to carry them. So it's taking less loot because I don't need loot. So I send it out, and they all survive, and that's their favorite thing too. They don't have to warp back. They don't have to keep opening like Gorn rifts to an area that they can't reach. It's one and done, and they're in there until they've had enough, and they recall home.
Interesting.
I love it. I think it's a fantastic.
Putz points out in the chat that you're also looking at additional stuff. You're looking, Putz, you had mentioned, you're on the stage. Putz, you want to talk about the added value of the Vindicator parts in the event store?
To be honest with you, I see very little to none. If to spend $150K for 40 days advancement on a ship that's going to take you hundreds of days to tier up, that's a very little advancement. I would much rather spend my loot, which is going to be cheaper, on primes, on officers, on fleet commanders, on fleet commander skill points. I could probably list another 4 or 5 things that I'd rather spend my loot on than Vindicator parts.
And that's fair. All right. Go ahead, Tarpy.
That's been kind of my point. Is people are happy about the Revenant, and that's wonderful. People are happy about the Revenant parts. That's wonderful. For the people who want to beat up their Vindicator just a little bit, those people get to be happy too. Like, your account, your event store loot, you can value however you want, whatever you want. You can get crystal if you want. But Vindicator parts, because it's such a slow acquisition, to get them a few parts a day, every week, if you do your event every week, even if it's 40 days this month, 40 days next month, that eventually adds up to a fair amount.
It does.
Yeah, I like the option. Give people that love the Vindicator an ability to upgrade it. But it's just, like I said, 10th or lower on my list.
And that may be fair. Let's go back and see. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this quickly and or easily. Yeah, here we go. Let's pop this up on the screen, Tarpy. This is something that Jules sent us a little while ago. Let's take a look here at a Vindicator. Okay, now this is a very high tier Vindicator. This Vindicator on this chart is tier 18. And that's kind of what we're pointing out here in the chat. All right, max. That's what Yo-Yo Dude is pointing out, is that the Vindicator allows G6 ships to be skipped. All right, take a look at the shield health and the hull health. This is a tank. Of course, that's what it was built for. Okay, now I'm not going to compare it against the G6 Epic. All right, although, I mean, I guess we could. All right, look, here's your tier 15 board cube. All right, that is approximately 50 million in shield and hull. Meanwhile, your Vindicator is daggone near 75 million, almost 50% stronger. All right, for those of you in podcasts, we're taking a look at a chart that is in the graphics room. I'll go ahead and copy it there again for you, so you guys can take a quick peek at this. The Vindicator has its place. Okay, now it doesn't have a tremendous amount of damage. That is kind of expected, but it makes it the battleship of battleships, right? It actually, Dragon Keeper, does hold its own at higher levels against the hostiles, and it has a great hazard resistance.
Does that chart represent its research, like its damage with its research applied,
Absolutely,
or
yeah.
just the flat what it is?
Well, no. This does not include the taunt ability. Okay, this is it's a shield tank. Divine says it does not include the taunt ability. This is just the natural DPR of the ship. Okay, the taunt ability shoots
So all
the
of that other
DPR up.
research that's going to increase the damage is actually going to improve those DPS numbers.
Yes, but you got to remember,
So-
taunt is only against armadas. All right, it's not going to work in regular PvE. It doesn't work against hostiles. And Cruzito agrees that the hazard is nice. Matters reminds everybody it's got available 500% hazard resistance available through research that is free. All right, meaning that it can survive in any. Excuse me, hang on. It can survive in any space. Except for mirror space. Infinitely. All right?
Yeah.
That's a pretty big deal. That's right, Jesus. This is natural abilities. So if you enhance this in any way, shape, or form through whatever, the taunt ability or exos or damage, Lorcus Fist, any of the other things, I mean, it's still reasonably good. You take a look at the damage output, the DPR, listen, it will eventually compare to a maxed relativity. It will always be better than a tier 12 Enterprise D. It will always be better than a tier 9 Minerva. It will always be better than a tier 14 and downboard Cube. And it's almost as powerful as a tier 9 Kaskari. Dang. All right? This is a specialty ship. Now, I am going to be the first to admit it takes for freaking ever, which is why players have advocated so heavily and so greatly for it to show up in the event store. Now, I will also point out it's got a limit. It's a limit of 20, and there is choice. Putz points out this is not high on my list. I am going to assume that's because Putz is not a G6 player. Right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay?
Yes.
Because this ship will have more value to a G6 player. Now, Benny Hill says, so why bother with the G6 faction ships? You know, I ask myself that question almost every day. I really do.
We have a whole presentation on that.
There is a whole presentation on it. Jules and Tarpey and Dastros did this whole thing about how specialty ships can, in fact, replace every faction ship in your arsenal. Look at the tier 15 relativity, guys. All right, and again, this is in the graphics room for podcast audience. Look at the relativity. It has literally double the shield and hull health of any other ship in the game. Now, Cruzito says, whoa. Not the epics. Don't get crazy. You know, here's the deal, though. People are so far off from the epics. That's a 70-level ship. And I know that there's 3% of the game that's there, but is it even 3% of the game? How many level 70s do we actually have now? According to STFC statistics, how many do we have? Ram Scoop says, so what, DJ? I've got all 3 level 70 epics. Okay, that ain't you then. That ain't you. Wolfwood said it's not 3% of the game. Mimi says there's roughly 1,000. Well, yeah. Paulo says there's only 100. It's definitely more than 100. All right. Balabom says 1,000. All right. Iron Fister says it's still less than 1% of the game. I agree.
It's under 1,000. Like, I'm going through the list right now. It's under 1,000.
Under 1,000. All right.
But 2 months ago, it was like 300. So that's gone up a lot in just this calendar year.
It has gone up a lot, but we're still talking about the only ships in this game that can do better than the specialty ships that have been recently released are the ships that 99% of people can't get, and that another, I call it 80 to 85%, will never get. All right, let's think about that for a second. At least not anytime soon. By the way, yes, thank you. Timestamp in the graphics room is 9:55 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you, Cruzito. All right. Now, there will be other progression that happens, and that obviously has to be kept in mind, and I'm not suggesting otherwise. What I am simply saying is that these specialty ships, there was a reason we did a whole episode on it. All right? The specialty ships matter. The fact that specialty part sourcing appears in the event store is a win. Not only that, but just getting them to recognize and modify the event store. Listen, we've gone as long as 18 months in the past without a single event store modification. The fact that we're having conversations about what they added to the event store, the fact that even Rev heralds this as maybe the all-time best event store. Made a video on it today. Quite possibly the best event store of all time with regards to its selection. That's saying something. You've got a lot in here. As Putz points out a few moments ago, well, listen, you've got Lorca skill points in here. The number of Lorca skill points that are available, Putz, by the way, you could absolutely earn far more than $200 worth of primes by using Lorca. And what he means by that, and what I mean by that, is Lorca is chock full of ridiculously powerful research. Ridiculously powerful research. We've actually, when Lorca came out, we calculated at that time, Tarpy, I don't remember if it was 7 or 8 different primes of effective research built within Fleet Commander Lorca.
Yeah.
It might have been 8. I don't remember. Even if it's 7, I don't remember. Okay?
Right.
7
and
primes
Lorca
worth.
Is insane. Go ahead.
Lorca is insane. And you can earn 3,800 skill points with the same 150,000 loot. So, Putz is going to come out in the argument of, my God, a ship that I personally, speaking for Putz, as a non-G6 player, am not going to get to enjoy the high tiers of where it's really good. I'm going to take what serves me now. That might be 7 primes worth of Lorca skill points. And by the way, 3,800 skill points, that's going to get you a long ways. It's going to get you a long ways in Fleet Commander Lorca. That's a lot of research.
How many days of Vindicator pulls is that 3,600?
That's, yeah, I was going to say,
A lot.
100 skill points of Lorca is way more than 40 days.
I would agree with that. Take a look at the only, it's not the only anymore. The second, the original source of Lorca skill points, 50 a day. 50 a day. Lost in, thank you for dropping 5 gifted. Appreciate that so very much. Thank you, homie. How you doing, man? Good evening to you. 53 Lorca skill points. 3,800 then is what? 60 days? Almost 70? Divided by 53? 72 days. Well, there you go, Putz. 72 days worth of Lorca skill point acquisition. I still like that, Putz. Again, it follows the model that I've always taught. Get the stuff that has the most value that's the hardest to get. Another thing that we could look at, all right, another thing that we could look at is a good old classic. How about officers? Okay, we won't even look at the new additions tab. Let's look at officers because, I'm speaking very, very highly of Captain Rachel Garrett. Actually, she's a lieutenant in this game. K9, thank you for dropping 10 gifted. Both you and Lost In are really going after this cruise. I'm very excited for you guys. I
feel like we should talk about points for stuff again.
The points for stuff?
Like, what are all these points getting?
Listen, yeah. I'm going to remind you guys that all these gifted subs are earning all these tickets into the cruise. Every gifted sub is 2 tickets into the cruise sweepstakes. So K92 just got 20 tickets. Lost In just got 10. All right. Matters has gotten like 6 or 8 tonight because he keeps gifting subs. Every single time you gift a sub, you get 2 tickets into and maybe you don't want to gift a sub. Maybe you want to sub yourself. A tier 1, just a regular good old fashioned Twitch sub, that gets you 2 points. That gets you 2 tickets. All right. A tier 2 sub gets you 3. Or a tier 3 sub gets you 6 tickets into the cruise sweepstakes. A prime gets you a ticket. All right. A prime sub for free gets you a ticket. You can mail a postcard for free tickets. Look at that. The YouTube Gold only costs $5. That's 2 tickets. Patreon. You could earn, what is it? We've got Patreon over there where you can get 6 tickets with the Studio B All Access Pass. That's where I DJ, Jedzia. Jedzia, I've got 2 different channels. We've got this one for gaming and whatever, but I also have another one that I do just the music. Because, the DJ program, it's weird, right? So it's a weird program. If you DJ on the DJ platform, you make way less than you would on your gaming channel. It's kind of crazy. So anyway, I have the 2 channels that I use. So I DJ on that one for the music, and then I game over here. But we also post our sets in Patreon. So you could go sign up and get a Studio B All Access Pass in Patreon, and you could get the cruise tickets there. That's crazy. Studio B. Thank you, Iron Fister. All right. Iron Fister, thank you for your 5 gifted. Lost in dropping another 10 gifted. There's another 30 tickets into the sweepstakes. All right. It's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited. I'm glad you guys are excited about it. I'm glad you're competing. Canine Tooth, do you not have your cabin yet? Last year you were going to go, and then it conflicted with something in your real life. Are you actually going on the Star Trek cruise this year? Did you book a cabin? I was curious about that because I know you were going to last year, and then it didn't work out. Family something or other. I think you actually, wasn't it? Didn't you have another cruise booked at the same time or something like that? I don't remember. I don't remember exactly what it was, but anyway. So, yes, I did not misspell ultimate. It's never had an E. It doesn't have an E.
Okay, so what are some of the other numbers that are on the top of the screen?
Oh, see, Tarpy's getting me to shill hard right now. Okay. Right up here.
What?
She wants me to talk all about the money. We're talking about event store loot.
Hey,
All right,
you got a DM about one of them.
Wait, I have a DM about... Okay, here, I'll tell you real quick. Right here, bonus cruise entries for donos. ! Tip, ! Donate. When we hit $500, we give away 50 cruise entries to people in a random drawing. We play a game. The Battle Pass cheer points. Every time we get to 10,000 bits, we give away a Battle Pass. And then that's a Battle Pass in a video game we play. And then over here, when we hit the subs goal, then we give away a bonus 100. What about the PP points? PP points is over. We finished the PP point contest. That ended in March. And we just gave away $2,000. We gave away $2,000.
All done playing with the PPs.
Yeah, done with that. Riskbreaker says, this podcast, why talk about a screen the podcast can't see? I know. That's why I said, bits and donut. It's things. It's things that are on the screen for the podcast audience who can't see. But if you're watching, then you can see it. Or if you're watching on playback. You know that YouTube puts our podcast in video format? Did you guys know that? Actually, I didn't know about this. And I did know about this. I'll just ask you real quick, because I know what Scalyback is going to say. There is, Tarpy, a feature within Podbean, who hosts our podcast, for me to upload the video and do video podcast. But
Dang.
Well, I know, but the YouTube and Twitch have the podcast playback, and they do video. I feel like, yes, I can, Cruzito. I can put the video on the podcast platform. You can watch the video in iTunes. But here's the problem with that. Then people like Scalyback are going to be limited from watching. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are people who come at me and say, we actually like the audio version. And I kind of like sticking around. I kind of like sticking to one of the original formats. We started this show in long form radio. I know. Rest in peace, Scaly's data plan. That's right, Mimi. Yo, Grand Admiral Hunter, thank you for the 18 stinky raiders. What's going on, Hunters? How are you? What's up? Yeah, I got the stickers turned off because it's a podcast, Lost In. But yeah, no, I have always intentionally not put video on the podcast platforms for the people who like to listen in their car, for the people who like to listen while they're working out, for the people who like to listen while they're walking or at work and can't watch a screen, for you guys, I maintain our radio format. That's right, Vic. Podcasters keep hating on the Twitchers. I like to maintain a separate, because you can always go to YouTube and get the video. All right. You also, in the YouTube podcast platform, you can get the video version in the YouTube podcast version. But for everybody else, we still maintain the audio version.
Oh my gosh.
Lost In, thank you. Lost In dropping another 10. Dude, Lost In wants to go on this cruise.
Right?
Yeah, he does. Vic says, I think it's very, very good. I used to listen to podcasts on my commute so I could rage about Scopely. See, that's we still do a ton of podcasts. We've dropped down a little bit, but we probably still do 7 to 8 a month. I mean, that's a lot. A lot of major podcasts do a couple a month, maybe one a week. And they have seasons. Like, they'll work for a few months and then they stop. We go year round and we make like 7 episodes a month. That's a lot. That's a lot of work. All right? This is saying. And then we have the YouTube and the Twitch on top of that, and then Studio B on top of that. We make a lot of content around here, folks. Make a lot. Broken Wolf dropping another 10. How are we not in? Oh gosh, guys, it's because we're still on cooldown. We were still on cooldown. That's what it was. We're only 1 hour into the show. Yeah, the sound alerts that you guys are hearing on podcasts, that is people donating to this to the gifted sub community. Broken Wolf just dropped 10. Ice Wolf just got a gifted sub from Everywhere It Matters. Thank you. Ice Wolf dropping 100 kitty bitties in the chat. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. Tons and tons of content, and still only the number 5 STFC content creator. I know. I get it. I understand. Putz, you know what? I love this idea right here. I love this idea.
I'm so positive.
I'm
full of positive energy.
I appreciate that. Putz, I love this idea right here. This is brilliant. Putz is going to be on the cruise next year as a part of the Talking Trek panel. Putz, he says, for anyone that is iffy on the cruise because of your significant other not being a Trek fan, Mrs. Putz is going to be on the cruise this year and is putting together an STFC spouses club for the cruise. So for the look at that, man. We are just thinking of everything, Tarpy. Look at us.
Right?
Look at us. My goodness gracious. Check that out. Lost In, thank you for dropping a gifted sub into the chat. Appreciate that. So Mrs. Putz will be there, and we'll be working on club activities for the Trek spouses who don't like Trek. All right? There you go. Tarpy says, are we still doing stream streaks? Yeah, I am still doing stream streaks. I'm probably going to discontinue that eventually because we're paying out a lot, and I never set an expiration on it. So I am gonna set an expiration on that eventually. Not right yet, Tarpy, but I am gonna end that promotion. We paid $900 in that in March. So
wow,
yeah.
You had one person who DM'd me about it today.
I got you. Yeah, we paid $900 out on that in March, and that's more than I have budgeted for that stuff. So we'll probably get ready to do that eventually.
I'd say look at the DM I sent you too, though. Like,
all right.
Anyway,
we'll do that later. Silver Tab says, will you wait 29 more streams before you discontinue? Maybe, possibly. All right. Listen,
3 weeks.
We have more. I have more with the event store, but it looks like we're getting ready to have to take a break. And I'm sorry, the bad timing. We had all the gift subs and everything coming in. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to take a very quick break. When we come back, I'm going to talk more about more of the event store options. And then we're going to see how many of these options can you actually mix and match. All right? Because the event store loot got a big injection in its count, which we were expecting, Tarpy. We were expecting it. And Echo delivered. We're going to talk about what he dumped into the event store loot economy coming up on the other side of this break. My name is UltimatDJz. This is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast, and we'll return right after a word from our super comedic and highly sarcastic parody sponsors. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
This program is made possible in part by a grant from the makers of Wheat Checks, Rice Checks, Corn Checks, and new Bounced Checks. Our apologies to our creditors.
From the makers of the Magic 8 Ball comes the answering toy that's not afraid to give your kids the hard truth. Introducing the Magic Trump Ball.
Can I be an astronaut when I grow up? The American dream is dead.
Simply ask it a question, shake it up, and the Donald will shoot straight with your little type.
Can I go to Disney World?
No,
Why?
you're a loser.
With thousands of Trump sayings, your kid will have answers to his biggest questions.
Should I take Rosie Duggan to the school dance?
Rosie is a very unattractive person, both inside and out.
The magic Trump ball.
But I like Rosie.
Rosie is a loser.
Available now wherever kids are being screwed up.
Hey, Rosie, you're fired.
And now, another important last-minute tax preparation tip from renowned tax advisor, Melvin Schmetty.
Hello. When paying your taxes, did you say last minute? Oh my God, it's this week, isn't it? I can't believe this. What happened? I didn't ready. I thought I was ready. I'm not ready. I still need to get my receipts together. My check stubs. I don't have my check stubs. I need my check stubs. I need my check stubs. Anybody see my account? Do I use form 340 or form 430? I forget which one.
This has been another last-minute tax preparation tip from renowned tax advisor, Melvin Schmetty.
My pencil isn't even sharpened.
Every beer spring break, every shot I take, every wake and bake, every snack I make, I'll be flashing you. I've been tanked all day, tried to get away, till I heard her say that I'd have to pay, so I'm flashing you. I cannot seem, but I need to pee. What a dumb mistake. I fell into a lake. Every song by Drake, every part lays cake, every boob that's fake, every day spring break, I'll be flashing you.
Please and thank you. Yeah. Oh, I want to be flashed. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. I wish I knew how to play guitar. If I knew how to play guitar, then Tarpy, I would get flashed on spring break.
You only need to know how to play air guitar. You're good.
Oh, is that it? I got it. All right. Savage Darkness says, I want to be the Flash, as in like the person. I want to be Barry Allen. Yeah, I like that too. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back into the show. My name is UltimatDJz. This is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. We appreciate you guys. What's going on? We're talking about the event store, and we've actually spent a little bit more time on it than I intended. But there's a lot of good stuff in here. I want to talk a little bit about officers here just for a second, Tarpy, because you guys know I've been a huge advocate for officers for a very, very long time. And from what I can tell, now somebody out there could probably tell me, if there's any whales out there that could tell me, but I am not aware of any officer shard limits in this event store. You know, they've done that a time or two, Tarpy. They've snuck in a little limit 20 or a little limit 30 or a little limit 50 or something like that. I'm not seeing that this time. So if you wanted to go in and spend 200,000 loot on Rachel Garrett, you could get 100 shards. If you wanted to spend 400,000 loot, you could get 200 shards. All right? You could do that. Unless anybody's going to tell me they can't. Because I have not found any confirmation of any shard limits on the rare officers. You know, this used to be the way it was done, Tarpy. How many of you guys maxed out Ash Tyler with event store loot? How many of you guys maxed out TOS Uhura with event store loot?
I wasn't playing.
How many of you
So
guys?
I didn't.
Wait, you weren't playing in the original Discovery arc? Yikers.
No.
How many of you guys maxed out?
PLT, Neelix, Kim.
Yeah, I was getting ready to
Doesn't
say
matter.
Belana Torres. Huh?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. They don't do that super often. Lloydson says free to play. No way you could. Oh, Lloydson. Back in the day. Back in the day, it was a different kind of event store. That was the Wild Wild West. That was the Wild Wild West. All right.
It's been a couple of years, but I would say 2 years ago, almost every event store, I picked out a rare officer and maxed it.
Yeah, you could. A couple of years ago, they changed structurally. They changed a lot of stuff about the event stores. But it used to be, if you picked one officer, you could go all in and you could max it. You could. That was the thing. All right. So, but look, that's something. Now, I don't know that you're going to get enough loot to max Rachel Garrett, but you can certainly earn a lot of shards, and she's a loot officer, guys. She's a loot officer that goes with TNG Picard and or Enterprise E Picard and Enterprise E Data. That's a phenomenal loot crew. All right. That's right. Cruzito said the event store was the rare sourcing path. I mean, kind of it still is. As far as sourcing goes, as far as getting an unlock or a tier 2 or a tier 3, it still is. Now, it's not maxing the rare officers anymore like it used to be. All right. Scribbler also pointing out that she's great below decks against the battleships, and she is. She's phenomenal. This is a great rare officer. I don't know that I'm going to call her S tier, but she's very, very good. I would absolutely call her A tier. Matters. Let's just go around the horn real quick. Tarpy, how are you rating Rachel Garrett? Is she S tier for you? I think I would rate her A tier.
I'm somewhere in the middle, so I didn't catch the S. What's that one?
The S is like
literally
S is superb. Like it goes S and then A B C D. Is kind of how it goes. Duder's saying S. Juby is calling it S. Okay.
I mean, she's one of my favorite actresses.
That doesn't count.
So... Yes, it does.
No,
hey,
no, that doesn't
my
count.
Mr. Loot. I can do.
All right, fair. We're talking about the office.
Really though? Yeah, I know. Where I am in G6, I don't necessarily need loot crews.
Oof.
For hostels that often.
Oh, I still do.
And I don't as much as I used to. So maybe if you're G4 and still needing to do Mantis stuff, if you are G5 and still needing to do Voyager stuff, and you want to speed crew and loot crew because you can put E. Riker and still have loot crew, Garrett is the way to go. But I don't need her as much as I maybe need some of the primes. So I'm going with like A to B.
Okay, cool. Matters. Rate Garrett.
S for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm notorious for using E. Riker. I'm in love with the guy, and I love speed, and that's what I use everywhere all the time. And,
so she's getting you some loot added to speed.
With loot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, I like that.
I was sacrificing loot for speed, and now I can have both.
Now you can have both. Putz.
Exactly.
Rate Rachel Garrett.
I would say for an officer, because her both of her abilities, you need to tier her up. So that makes her even more needing to get, higher tiers. Yeah, she's one of the better officers. I guess I would reluctantly have to put her in S, only because I am probably not going to concentrate on her. I'm going to look at other stuff. So that means I'm bypassing an S officer. So that doesn't make me feel happy. But yeah.
No, it's interesting, isn't it? Wolfwood and Karkin, we'll get your guys, and then we're going to go to the audience. Wolfwood, welcome on to the stage. Rachel Garrett, for you?
For me, she is an S tier because of her because she can synergize with the Picard, and combine those two, she's a better loot officer than 5.
That's accurate, which is wild to think about. Karkin, rate Rachel Garrett.
Wait, what? How do you figure she's better than 5?
With synergy,
like, even add it up. Well, with synergy, maybe if she's tiered a bit, but what is she right now? Like, second to first tier is like 40, 30?
Her first tier is tier 5, but she gets 200% synergy to Picard, or is it? Yeah, wait.
I thought it was 40% synergy to Picard.
I can't remember now. Yeah, but Picard has 100% also. And
so he's got the 100% because he's got data. So you're getting 40% extra from the synergy and then whatever she gives. And it's only 2 hostiles. I'd be much happier with her if she was
with Picard too.
Carried the with Armadas.
All right, fair enough. So she's not S tier to you. What's her rank?
She's up there. Her below decks is a little more specific than I like. I don't like having to target specific things for things, but it's solid. So both usable. So yeah, she's an A officer for sure.
Interesting.
Just
Spectre.
S would have been if she also could do Armadas.
Fair. But I agree with that. I'm good with that. Spectre says A tier. Duder says S tier. Savage Darkness says S is the GOATs. Iron Fister giving it A. Same reason Karkin, being locked to a specific ship type. Riskbreaker, Biker, also giving her A tier. Vool giving her A tier. Voltron, B tier. Brett, A tier. Cruzito said if you don't have a well-tiered 5, then she's definitely S tier for you. All right. So, yeah, Lord Ascaron says, I guess she gets an A for me. Carissa says a C. I don't run loot crews anymore for hostiles, so you're with Tarpy there a little bit. And that's fine. That's what I love about this game is that there's different things for different people. So, I mean, there's all that. But I think I agree with a lot of you guys. I'm not going to call her S tier. She's A tier for me. And an officer that I am super interested in leveling up and maxing. Tarpy, it's interesting you say you don't use Loot Crew. You know where I still use Loot Crew? On literally every specialty loop. You're exactly right. Gorn, Silence, Zindi. Okay? Literally every Mirror. Every faction, every specialty grind there is for me, I'm using Loot Crew.
What tier does she supersede a max 5?
Tier 3?
What percent?
I mean, you take into account her synergy and stuff as well. I mean, you could run Picard Data 5. All right, admittedly, you could run Picard Data 5, but yeah, Duder for Rachel Garrett at tier 5, she's 200%. And moreover, Daystros likes to run her as a second loot crew, like Matters is. Anytime you run Riker, all right, getting speed and loot. So Pong says even tier 4 is 120%. So there you go. I mean, at tier 4, she surpasses 5. She's a rare, so she's easier to get. She's faster to get. And then you do get synergy. You do get synergy, Savage Darkness. You do get synergy. You get synergy with Ent-E crew. Ent-E crew. And Ent-E Picard, his captain's maneuver, is also loot. No, Savage Darkness, 5 is not better. I mean, 5 is better if she's maxed and Rachel Garrett is tier 3 or lower. Okay? So you got to look at what Garrett is providing. Garrett is providing her own loot crew plus a loot boost to NT Picard. So she's giving 2 loot boosts. All right? And the comparison here, I'm going to draw a comparison, Savage Darkness, for those of you who want to say, well, that doesn't technically count as Garrett. Sure it does. Does Pike Moreau, is that a phenomenal crew? Is Pike Moreau just the bee's knees? Is that something that you guys use to ultra boost? Is it because Moreau is just so gosh darned good that you have to put her on the crew? Or is it because she gives synergy to Pike? Okay? Garrett gives synergy to Picard, who is loot. And as it turns out, Rachel Garrett doubles down because she also has her own loot. She's a double loot officer. All right? Which is phenomenal. Okay? Absolutely phenomenal. So, is she S tier? Is she A tier? Is she B tier? That's up to you. The fact is, there's a lot of shards available for her in this event store. As a matter of fact, as much loot as you want to get.
Theoretically, it is not impossible. If you only spent your loot on Garrett, it is not impossible. You could get very close to maxing her if you're free to play this month.
What? All right. You're blowing my mind.
Possible. Not necessarily.
No. We're going to talk about that. Let's do one more thing as far as the new additions go, because Putz has talked about it, and a lot of you guys in the chat have talked about it. You've talked about these primes, okay? We talked about Lorca skill points already, okay? Let's talk about the primes real quick. First of all, prime cosmic particles. I'm not a big fan of them being in this event store. That's fine that they are. This is kind of like where Putz was landing on the Revenant parts, right? I'm fine with them being here. I'm glad that it's an option. I'm cool with that. But if I was going to invest in primes, Putz, where are you putting your primes? You said you wanted primes. What are you spending them on?
Not in the cosmic. I've already got all of those from the AI, from the AT store.
That's right.
So it would be the other ones, the ones that look like a Dorito chip.
Prime Orbit medallions. That's right. The Prime Orbit medallions are a big deal, okay? This is one of the first times that they've ever been sourced. What did I just do? What did I just break? I just broke something. Prime Orbit medallion. There we go. Prime Orbit medallion. For those of you in podcast form, I'm going to read you a list of 12. Thank you, Duval. It has been a hot minute since you were here. Thank you, Duval, for your... Thank you. 12 primes, podcast audience. Prime critical floor. You know what? Matters. I'm going to call you up to the stage. I just want smash or pass on these primes that I read you. I don't need a description. Smash or pass. Tarpy, smash or pass. Putz, smash or pass. All right? I'm going to come to each of you. Prime critical. That's a big one right there. That's impressively large.
Absolutely.
Oh, God. This is going to turn into a mess. Matters. Smash or pass. Prime critical damage floor.
Smash.
Tarpy?
Smash.
Putz?
Smash. Smash.
Prime critical evasion. Matters.
Pass.
Okay. Tarpy?
Pass, because others.
Okay.
Pass.
And pass. All right. G3, station efficiency. This is for materials, G3. And by the way, obviously for G4, G5, G6, but let me just point out, you've got G3, G4, and G5 station efficiencies. Okay? This one's going to matter a little bit. All right, depending on where you are. Cruzito said all pass. Obviously, you goof ass. You're a 70. I don't even know why you weigh in on conversations that have absolutely no bearing on you. Hey, Cruzito, how do you feel about this G3 Prime? Oh, it sucks. No, it doesn't. You just don't need it anymore. Come on, man. You can't taint people like that. Yes, I said the word taint. All right. What about
family podcast?
Family. What about prime ship part manufacturing? Prime ship parts. That's Survey, Interceptor, Explorer, or Battleship. There's 4 different primes. I mean, parts, people. Parts. One of the biggest bottlenecks in the game, no matter what your generation is. Matters? Parts manufacturing?
Pass.
God. Okay, Cruzito Jr.
What are the numbers on that?
Fine,
From the
Cruzito
refinery?
Jr. All right.
The refinery doesn't pay anything. Like it's worth it, so it doubles your refinery payout, but that's doubling a tiny percent. I mean, eventually, yes, get it, but I
Where's the
wouldn't get that
multiplier?
for some of these other ones.
Where's the multiplier?
It's not even a
Is
double.
It before or after?
It's not even a double. It adds a roll.
Oh, it's the +1 roll,
Yeah.
right? So it's double for me because I only
with
single
the favor.
parts refineries.
Well, there you go. Now you've got another favor. That's right, Tarpy, where you can double. But that double, by the way, comes after your prime. I mean, the prime is an extra roll. So when you double it, then you're doubling and getting an extra roll. All right? So, maybe. Hey, how many of you guys would be more interested in 5-star ship parts if you added the whole what if G5 scrapping was a thing? Now it changes. Okay, fine. Prime Orbit Medallion. How about this one? Prime Cutting Beam damage boost. Matters? Smash. Tarpy.
Somewhere between the two.
Where are the locks on that thing?
Every couple tiers.
Yeah, so it totally depends on your...
Fair.
And they're also cheaper depending on the tier. So I would say smash if you can't do the artifacts.
Okay. Level 4 is
And you
expensive.
use your cube a
It's
lot.
like 2,000.
Yeah.
It's like 2,000 just for it.
100%.
Look, Mishap, I'm working on the last level of the beam now. Vic says smash. Bender says I'm working on that prime.
Exactly. What's it gonna give you?
Cruzito says
extra
cutting
damage?
beam smash. All right.
Well, Cruzito, yeah, because he's going to be zapping like PvP and he's got the high beam, so you want to min-max. But if you're below your max of anything, what does it matter? You can always drop down, increase your loot. Like, what is the cutting beam going to give you? Aside from Wednesday's event.
It really depends on where you are for like your ops and your ships, because the smaller
PvE.
primes don't do anything because the artifact came out after the cube prime. So the artifact does a lot more than that prime does until the high levels of the prime.
But I want it all. And I want it now. Here's the deal. Those Prime Orbit medallions give you access to 12 primes in the game. Scribbler has it right. Bottom line is everybody can use these particles on something. Okay? There you go. Unleash says the cutting beam is not PvP, so how is it worth it? I would love for my PvE cutting beam to be better. Love it. I wouldn't even use it as much in PvP. I need it more in PvE right now.
Is the increase that this is giving you going to jump you up from whatever level Hosta to the next level? Is it doing anything at all? Except maybe allowing, I know in my case it would allow to kill, instead of just being stuck at killing the explorers, I'd be able to hit the interceptors or battleships too.
I mean, again, your ops is going to be relevant. For me, at tier 15 on that cube, it's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. All right. So, yeah, again, that might depend on your ops level. So there's that. All right. You got the Prime Orbit medallions in here as well. Fantastic selection, fantastic options that have been added to the event store. And I'm going to summarize this entire first hour and a half with this is kudos to you, Echo. Kudos to you, Echo. Dragon Keeper said, so 3 out of the 12 were smash, rest, pass. Well, it depends. No, I'm not going to say that because the materials one, there were 3, and it counts as, I counted it as 1. But that depends on your grade, right? Depends on your generation. And then the ship parts manufacturing, that was 4 primes that we kind of rolled into 1, and that also will depend on your generation. All right? If you're Ops 48, then yeah. Yeah, get the ship parts one. All right? If you're Ops 59, no, pass on it. Same thing with the station one, right? If you're Ops 47, I would say start looking at the G5 station efficiency one. But if you're Ops 58, you don't need the G5 one anymore. You know what I'm saying? The materials, as Matters points out, are all going to be smashed for your generation and any following, depending on your placement and where it starts. All right? So just kind of depends on where you are.
Those primes are good.
They are good primes. All right? There are good primes. But, again, it's kind of like what we talked about with the Temporal Disruptor Prime, right? It's kind of what we've talked about now with the Prime Starts that just launched this month. The earlier you get in on that stuff, the better. All right? So for someone who's late in G5, then the G5 one probably doesn't matter anymore. Okay? Now, Tarpy, you made a very interesting claim a few moments ago. You said that...
I was wrong. I mathed it wrong.
All right.
I've had a really long day of meetings.
Fair enough. Let's talk a little bit about what the event store loot count is. Now, Tarpy has been keeping up with this. Obviously, you guys know that we started this many, many years ago. It has grown to a community submission kind of thing, and it's phenomenal, and I love that. Tarpy has been working on it. Jules, Blue Mandalorian, Rev contributes to it as well. We have in front of us our event store loot payout comparison sheet. Tarpy, for those of you in podcast, I'm going to try to narrate this as best we can, but Tarpy, I'd like for you to start. Can you tell us what we're looking at? When we started the arc, we knew on day one that there was a big old stinky meta, a big fat meta that was feeding, at that time, 220,000 loot. We knew on day one that there was going to be 220,000 loot free to play if you participated in all of the free-to-play SMSs. And by the way, so far, Echo has delivered. Every single one of those intelligence gathering events have had 6,000 loot, and every single one of them have been grindy. Every single one, not grindy, but none of them have been heroic. Everything has been free to play obtainable. Okay? Completely free to play obtainable. Carissa says this is probably one of the best months for event store planning ever. Echo's plan should be the blueprint for event stores. I love it. I wish he were here to hear it right now, because I know he put in a ton of work. Lloydson says we're going all the way back to Echo's first arc with the introduction of the archives, because Echo put back in the archive claim in his events. Does that surprise anybody? He has been the champion for mastery since its inception. Okay? He was the pushing force behind mastery. We envisioned mastery on this show years ago. And then he got it done. And then he got to be the arc runner that introduced it. And if you guys remember, in that month of the Independent Archives, he had a lot of events that rewarded people for playing in Mastery by allowing the claim of a Mastery bundle to finish your event. And then his arc finished. And some of the other arc runners did not adopt that same mentality. And I know some of you guys went back and be like, golly, I wish that we could keep that up. I wish that, pressing that button was going to give us, the completion of the event. And other arc runners have stated that Mastery is meant to pay out the rewards. It was not always designed to auto-complete events. Then Echo got his next arc. And Echo said, Well,
Right.
this was my feature, and I'm going to celebrate it, and I am going to give you a mastery auto-completion back. And so we've had events almost every day where you get to click a button, a single button, and get 6,000 points and mastery or meta participation. And then on top of that, you've got this meta that has what, Tarpy? 30 or 28?
31.
Thank you.
So 31 overall SMSs to feed the meta that requires 28 to complete the meta. So that's a 93% participation rate. So you can miss 3 over the course of 3 weeks and you can still finish the meta.
And by the way, he confirmed. He did confirm with me when we found that there were 3 events buffer. 3 events. That's what he built in his buffer for this thing. He confirmed Tarpy's math, and he built 3 events. Some days there's going to be more than one. And not every day are you going to see a mastery claim event. But so far, what we've seen, Tarpy, is that on the days that have 2 events, one of them has been claimable by mastery. So we're still only having to do 1 event and essentially getting 12,000 loot.
I want to be a little bit careful with how excited we're sounding about the mastery because it is great and it is wonderful. But the only people that can truly claim all of the mastery events are Ops 58 and higher. So that's still
because of Voyager and yeah.
I am so
because
positive.
of Voyager and because
I'm full of
the
positive
Talios.
energy.
So specifically, you can't do the Borg probe one until you're Ops 58. So I will also say, on top of that, Echo has been fantastic about synergizing other events.
Yes.
So the days where he's had Borg probe grinds for the Battle Pass, it has usually lined up with other Borg probe grind events. So that's really nice. So even if you don't have mastery, you can still do 2 grinds or 1 grind, 2 events.
By the way, Tarpy, we are being told in the chat that the original Vidar.
Oh, the small Vidar one counts.
It counts also.
Nice.
Yeah, so I mean that's pretty big. That's pretty big.
That's awesome.
You know, it's almost as though Echo spent years of his Scopely career on our side of the table. Gee whiz. It's almost like he knows what the community knows and loves. It's almost like
is this his circle back?
Yeah. Guys, he finally circled back around to us. That's right, Lloyd. It's the tiny things like that. Those are the small things, the attention to detail that we complain about all the time that Echo's actually kind of delivering this month. All right? But on top of that, day 1, Tarpy, we knew about 220,000 loot. Now, that being said, even though we knew that on day 1, I still said, well, listen.
Yes. I'm a sexy piece of tash.
Thank you, Duval. Appreciate that. I'm assuming you're talking about me and not Alex. But we knew about 220,000 loot, Tarpy, but we knew that couldn't be all. We knew that there still needed to be a little bit more because, again, we've still been trying to push to we've been trying to push. Listen, the old value of 400,000 really is not the new norm, not since we've gone to the new model and event stores, but we've still been pushing for 300. As a matter of fact, let's take a look very quickly at our overview, okay? For example, if we look at Year of Hell Part 2, we got right at 400,000. Okay, Year of Hell event store, we got 401,000. But if you look at the Q Continuum, Prime Rex, thank you for your 27-month resub. Appreciate that. If you look at the Year of Hell, Q Continuum, it was 310,000 loot. Okay, Symbiosis, 301,000 loot. Mirror Part 2, worst event store of all time at 170,000. Oh my gosh, you guys started a hype train. Lost in, dropping 10 gifted. Thank you. Woo! And Lost In is chasing that cruise again. Thank you, Ice Wolf, for the 100 kitty bitties. You guys going crazy. And just like that, we're already into a level 3 hype train. Mirror Part 2, worst event store of all time. Gorn, 287,000. Enterprise Part 3, 210,000. And then now you're all the way back into 2023 where the old model of Event Store existed and you had stuff like 400, 500, 600,000 loot. Okay? Those things happened back then. Iron Fister dropping 1,000 kitty bitties and Engineering dropping 5 gifted. Thank you. Holy smokes.
Oh my gosh.
Guys, we are only 650 bits away from a free battle pass, and you guys are into a level 4 hype train. Just as a quick reminder, and I know this is uninteresting for the podcast audience, but if you get to level 10 hype train, we give away $100 packs on the show. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just saying, if you want to get there. Balabomb.
Make DJs pay more money.
Balabomb just did the final 700 bits. That is 10,000 bits, and we will be giving away a battle pass live on air right here, right now. Yeah. Ice Wolf, thank you for the chubby bunny emote. She made me a chubby bunny avatar emote for Studio B, and because she subbed over there, now Chubby Bunny's over here. Thank you very much for that, Ice Wolf. She made that, and I uploaded it to the Studio B. It was our very first emote that we put up on Studio B over there. So, yeah, now you guys got Chubby Bunny in there. All right. Thank you. Fisty for 700 bits. Lost in for 100 bits. Thank you so very much. Appreciate that. Zero, thank you for your 90 bits. You guys are incredible. Thank you so very much. So, when you're looking at event stores, we used to do the 400, 500, and 600,000 stuff, all right? We used to do that, but then the structure changed. This is really, this is, by the way, this is why he colors them differently, okay? This is very important to observe. You can't come in and be like, oh, well, event stores used to pay so much more and they're crappy now. All right, that's not the case. He changed colors because they changed the warehouse. They changed the economy. They changed what your event store loot could buy. All right? When they dropped these down, they started adding things like Fleet Commander slots and primes. And what else? What else? There was projectiles, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't there? It wasn't the whip. Although, was it the whip? Yeah, it was the whip. No, Whip went into Alliance tournaments.
Last time. No, they had it in the event store
It
last
was
time.
in the event store. Okay, so the Whip was in there. That was something people were chasing. All right? Pong, that's the side effect. That's the side effect. By adding all these other paid items. That's right, Scalyback, the Cardassian Disruptor Beam. I remember that one. That's right. By adding these other things, we did lose a little bit of economy in rare officers. Pong is right. You can't max a rare officer anymore. And by the way, not that I would ever tell them this, all right? But that was kind of what they were trying to do anyway, Pong. They didn't like the fact that we were maxing Ash Tyler and TOS Uhura. All right. They didn't like the fact that we were maxing out a whole rare officer with an event store, because what would that do? That would affect pack sales. If you knew you could max it in the event store, you didn't need to buy the packs. All right. So that change was somewhat intentional. All right. That change was somewhat intentional. The economy of scale never really adjusted for those officers. And they added in a lot of temptation, says Caledon. They added in choices. All right? They do source officers quicker these days, Voltron. That's accurate. But they also added in other paid items that make it very, very tempting. And don't pigeonhole players into getting one item. All right. They actually allow you now to split your loot, as Chaos is pointing out, to invest in a few different things depending on what you need for your account. Lost In, thank you for another 400 bits. Candy White, 200 bits. And Alicia, 100 bits. And now you guys are into a level 5. Thank you. Oh, my God, we're going to get there. Level 5 hype train. You guys are incredible. Thank you. So, 220,000 loot we knew about on day one. But we still wanted to try to push it, Tarpy. We definitely need more than 300,000. 400,000 would be a gift, but we definitely need 300,000 loot.
No problem.
No problem.
No
because
problem.
Echo introduced the Whispers meta. All right. Going into your event store, you will see the Whispers in Subspace gift. Whispers in Subs. Oh my God! Did you see that? I just got 30,000. Yeah! I just got 30,000. If you go into the Whispers in Subspace gift, you're going to see a claim chest. You're going to see a gift bundle. By the way, don't do what I'm doing and wait until 11 o'clock at night to make your second claim because it's still on a 22-hour cooldown. For God's sakes, don't miss a day. For God's sakes, don't miss a day. All right? Because you want to pull them all. You need to pull 12 gifts. You have to pull. Wait, it's only 9? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
The meta is not 12.
It's 10 days.
Which is
right?
fantastic.
10 days, right? No, it was 12.
Like that.
Wait. Here's the. Okay, hang on. Where's the event? I thought it was.
Look at the actual meta
I'm
for it.
I'm looking.
It's 9.
God, there's buffer in there too. Echo, you are so damn brilliant.
Right?
So, Echo introduced an event with 12 days and still gave players a 3-day buffer. Still gave players a 3-day buffer. Golly gee willikers, Echo. Somebody clip this. He's never going to get this much praise again in his life. All right?
That was mean.
You'll never do this good again.
Jesus,
we know.
man.
We know. Listen, you did a great job. You're done after this. All right? There's no way you could get this much right next time. All right? Blind
Echo
luck.
has peaked.
Yeah, you're it. You retire on top, buddy. Okay?
Please don't. We want you to do this again.
Oh, I'm joking. Yeah, I know. He's at the peak, man. This is the pinnacle right here. All right. Andy says, golly, Echo has written a template for how an arc should be. You've got a 12-day meta, which, by the way, contains 24,000 more loot just in the meta with a 75% requirement on participation. And when I say participation, I mean claiming a gift. Okay? Claiming a gift, a button push. It's essentially mastery. Press a button, get loot.
People. So I've spent the last few days talking through how to read the in-game news and the Discord announcements. If you read those instead, people are mad that the gift is in the event store rather than the gift section, even though the in-game news is a direct copy of the Discord announcement and vice versa that literally says in the event store. Right in it.
I get it. And traditionally,
I get it.
Traditionally, it would go in gift. All right. Traditionally, it would. I believe the reason that it's in the event store is because of our chance rolls. You see store bundles like that a lot. There is a difference in the back end of how they're built. All right. Cruzito said it's not necessarily a gift. It has to be earned by clicking, and I get it. It's not really a gift. It is an event, all right? Now, I get it. I agree, Mishap says. Cry about something that's worth crying about. Free is free. Who cares where it is? It's because people don't check.
Right.
All right? And Tarpy's right. If you read the Discord announcement or read the news or listened to my content or watched Reb's video or a number of any other content creators that have talked about this, and even now, if you are hearing about this right here and now, it's still not too late. Because there's a 3-day buffer, and we're only in day 2. Okay?
It also says it directly in the event. If you completely ignore everything else and only play in the game and only do that,
That's
it
fair.
says it very clearly in the text description of the event.
In the text description of the event. Score in this event by claiming the Daily Whispers gift in the event store. Unlock the premium cash, which we're going to talk about here in just a second, okay? In-game news said the same thing. Listen, people who complain about communication, people who complain that they don't, we don't use Discord. It should be in the game. Guess what it is? Not once, but twice. Okay? It's in the event and it's in the in-game news. That being said, you claim the daily bundle where you have a chance at 1,500, 6,000, 30K, or the lottery shot at 120,000 loot. Now, we talked about the meta. The meta gives 24,000 loot. Okay? 24,000 loot. Well, now, Tarpy, that gets us up to right at 250,000 loot. Guaranteed. Guaranteed 250,000 loot.
Yep.
If you had the absolute worst luck in the world, you're going to get another you're going to get another 15,000 loot. More than that, 18,000 loot. If you pull this chest for 12 days. Okay? And it was available. And by the way, I am counting all 12 days, Tarpy. It's free. It's an SMS. It's free-to-play loot by my definition. It's free-to-play loot. The worst luck in the world guarantees you 18,000 loot from the gifts.
Yep.
Okay? Now we're at 270,000 loot. 270,000. And by the way, you just saw me draw a 30. Couple of people have drawn a 30. I did get a 1,500 yesterday. I was miffed. All right. Wolfwood says I got a 6. All right. So cool. All right. But you're guaranteed 18,000, and you might get a few more. Maybe. Okay. Wait, have I missed a day? How has Savage Darkness pulled 3 times? You couldn't have pulled 3 times yet.
Not possible.
No, you couldn't have pulled 3 times there, bro.
It started yesterday.
Yeah, it just started yesterday. So there's only been 2 pulls so far. All right. Jace got a 1,500 and a 30,000. Nice. Wow, Mishap's got a 6,000 and a 30,000. That's nice. Look, in 2 days.
Buy a lotto ticket.
In 2 days, you've doubled the guaranteed minimum. In 2 days. You still have 10 more days. You still have 10 more days. Mimi, oh my God, you did not. Mimi, are you serious? Mimi pulled 120,000. Congratulations to you. Wow. Mimi got the 120,000 pull. That's big. That's huge. Congratulations. That's lottery. All right. So there you go. So at the least, at the smallest guarantee, you're now at 280. Let's call I'm going to call it 280,000 loot. Guaranteed minimum. And by the way, we haven't even started talking about maybe a little bit of luck. We haven't started talking about any of the solo leaderboards or Lions leaderboards or any of the other things that you could be playing in. Tarpy, let's break it down. Section 31, Part 2. Oh, one other thing. We have not figured up, or maybe you guys have, I don't know. Did you guys figure up? Did you guys notice that the rare tickets this month had event store loot?
That's in there.
Yes.
Echo,
and the materials.
Echo brought event store loot on top of the materials. On top of the materials.
Row 35.
Row 35. Rare ticket. 1 per month. 9,000 loot right there. So that's guaranteed free to play. That's free to play loot. 9,000. Now we're at 290,000. The Mission Key event gives loot. Mission Key event.
That's at the top.
28,000 loot for the Alliance milestone. 36,000 for the solo milestone. If you're good enough to do it, I didn't. I'm going to miss out
I hate
on
the
that
20-day ones.
I know, it
that
sucks.
require 20 days.
I know, it sucks. I'm going to miss that one.
You get some overflow coverage with your weekly pulls.
You do have some buffer. You know what? I'm going to go in and pull mine right now. You do get a little bit of buffer. Just reminding you, listen, there's 36,000 event store loot in the solo milestone this month. You probably do want to be logging in to the store every single day and doing your pull out of there. All right, it's worth it for a change. It is. It's a tough event, Maverick, but it is free to play. Technically, it's free to play. Okay? Get in there. Get your loot. All right. Tarpy. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, let's break down the rest of this stuff. What else do you got in here?
Sure. So one of the things that people were very, very mad about during the first week was the number of events that were locked behind buying the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And the first week of every arc is always heavily focused on the new content.
Sure.
And event store months always have a high focus on paid content. And this month was no different. So I do want to point out the Section 31 Omega events, as well as the heroic for building the ship in that yellow column in the middle. So there's different colors and they all come from different places. But people were mad at how much event store loot you got from the ship compared to not having the ship. Now, this was before we had a lot of these extra metas. This is before we had a lot of the daily metas. And there is a lot of loot that does come from paid content. And $100 in the ship actually gets you the chance at a fair amount of paid content.
If you can do those events, right?
That's
right.
Yeah.
Because
There's a caveat there for sure.
Yeah, because you can't do the events that call for the ship without the ship. So I did a calculation for the loot that's locked behind the ship. And that's about 150 to 170,000, depending on how many waves you can get through based on your account. So $100 essentially would get you 160,000 more loot, which on top of all the other stuff the ship gets you, so far that's another $100 pack in loot. But as we've had more stuff kind of going through the last few days, there have been more events that get loot for cheaper or free. So I do also want to point out this month there are battle pass milestones. There's one in the free pass that does have some loot, and there are 3 in the paid track. So $20 gets you another. What is that?
20,
My brain can't
20.
math right now. That's
21,000, almost
Yeah,
22,000
30.
loot. Yeah.
No, 30,000 for $20.
Oh yeah. I saw.
Um,
I missed column 7 there. Yeah. Let's see it.
Yeah. Yep.
For those of you in podcast,
so-
we're looking at the event store loot payout chart, and I will put a link to this in the graphics room. The timestamp is 11:08 p.m. Eastern time, and we're talking about how we have always tracked our loot. We break it down into free to play. We added a category this month for metas because there's a lot of them to keep track of. Then we have the category for paid loot. We've got solo leaderboards. Ironically, there's not been an alliance leaderboard yet. All right. And then you've got, we're categorizing how much some of this stuff would cost as far as spent in some cases. We're looking at, and this is very important to note here at this particular point, that the metas are being treated as free to play. All right, because so far, all of them have been. Nothing about any of the metas, all right, nothing about any of the metas has proven to be paid at this point as of yet. That means, as of today, only halfway in, 10 days into this month, we are looking at a guaranteed 326,000 loot so far. 326,000 loot. And Tarpy, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm looking. Oh, okay. You've got it. You averaged. What did you average here in 12 days? The whispers in subspace claims. 44,000 seems a little aggressive to be. I don't know.
Okay, so scroll over to columns V through Y, just to the right of the legend.
Yeah.
So what I did was. So that's not necessarily going to happen, but in theory, and yes, these are technically the right numbers, it just rounded different. Theoretically, according to probability, you are more likely to get 1,500 every day. However, we have just seen people get more than that. So in theory, the average for the entire meta would be about 44,000 loot. if you multiply the daily average approximate times the number of days in the meta.
Yeah.
So theoretically, most people would get about 44,000 loot from this meta.
I appreciate that math. I'm going to make an executive call here, and I'm going to drop that down. All right. I like to go with guarantees. Always guarantees. Okay?
So I did this math based on how Jules did it in a past event store month for the very same mechanic.
Did he really? See, I missed it
yes,
then.
which is why yep.
Yeah, I missed it then. I'm not gonna be able to pull it that way. Engineering says, there is even also the factor of you could pull it 13 times if you work your clock really, really well, and you're exactly right. You could pull it 13 times. I'm gonna pull an executive privilege there, and I'm gonna override that to the guaranteed design minimum. The guaranteed design minimum is 18,000. You could get more. But by the way, even with that 18,000, we're still over 300,000 loot. Okay?
And I haven't even put in all the individual metas, like feeders.
We are
or the one coming out tomorrow.
No, I didn't change. I changed the right one. Row 45. Whispers.
You changed the right one.
Yeah, I changed the right one, Riskbreaker. All right. The meta, I didn't change the meta. I changed the subspace claims. All right. To the guaranteed minimum. All right. And by the way, people are going to get more. People are absolutely going to get more. And as Tarpy points out, all of the meta events aren't even listed in here. So we're at 300,000 as of now. We are still going to get more. All right. And I want to throw out one more piece of knowledge regarding paid loot. All right. Which is the Whispers in Subspace Premium Cash. If you're going to work your clock, if you're going to pull this all 9 times, if you're going to finish that meta and get 9 pulls, finish the milestone, I want you to take a look at the Subspace Cash inside your event store. If you go to the event store, you're going to see the Whispers in Subspace gift, but you're also going to see a Whispers in Subspace Premium Cash where there are 4 additional milestones. Milestone number 1 paying another 21,000 loot. Milestone 2 paying 27,000 loot. That's a total of 48. Milestone 3 paying 36. Now you're at 84,000 loot. And milestone 4 paying 60,000. You're now at 144,000 loot. 144,000 loot. But you have to buy something. Right? You got to buy something. How much do you have to spend to get 144,000 loot? Well, if you hop into your pay store, you are going to see a new pack in the new section called Whispers in Subspace Premium Cash Unlock. It's a $15 pack, and it will unlock all 4 of your milestones. Basically, it unlocks the Premium Cash event. Okay? Plus tax, says Voltron. Fair. All right, $15 plus tax. All right. That is essentially what we have seen before with the double battle pass, right, Tarpy? If we've seen the double battle pass or we've seen the extra elite battle pass, we've seen this model before. All right. We've seen it in officer flash passes. Riskbreaker says, are we sure about the $15 pack? We are. Yes. Confirmed 100%. It does work. I confirmed it with the developer chat today. All right. Sanguine Otter says, wait, what? Does it still what? I said work the clock.
It's paired.
Huh?
It's paired. So people are just confused because it doesn't show up until you finish the milestone in the meta.
Until you finish the first
in
milestone.
The event description.
Yeah. So
right.
you
so
got to.
It doesn't show up not gray. Yeah.
You got to hit your first milestone. Listen, after you do your first claim, because the first claim is 100 points. All right. After you hit your first claim, you hit that first milestone, which is 2,400 loot in the normal meta, then you're going to see this cash unlock up here. And they are grayed out because you haven't bought it. All right. But if you buy it for $15, it unlocks all 4 of these. That is confirmed. Okay. That's confirmed. So you can spend $15 and earn another 144,000 loot at simply clicking a button. I like this kind of engagement. I love this kind of engagement. All right. So in the spreadsheet, that is included in the paid loot category, but I am going to call that no-brainer category. I'm going to call that the no-brainer spend. Okay? The $20 battle pass is practically a no-brainer. They found a way to extract $15 more out of anybody who's willing to spend anything on this game. If you're a true free-to-play, I get it. I totally get it. But this is just absolutely... Cruzito says, daggone, that's 2 less beers. Yeah, you got it. All right, I
2 Starbucks.
Yeah, that's 2 coffees. I'm here to tell you, for 144,000 event store loot, especially when we just got done talking about how this event store might be the best selection of all time. And we just got done talking about all the options that are in it. And we just got done talking about all the stuff that 150,000 loot can buy you as far as primes and skill points and ship parts and officers and... Holy smokes. Of all the times to give extra loot at a super cheap price, this is the store to do it in. Tarpy, go ahead.
Yeah. So the last number that you can see that's on the bottom there, that is the remaining number of the meta feeders for the Section 31 intelligence thing. So that's 90,000 more loot that we haven't had show up in the game yet that we know is coming. So if you do the remaining 15 events, that is the amount that you'll get free to play. Just given what we have right now.
So our projections...
And no more tickets. Yeah.
Our projections at this point, complete free to play, is 390,000 loot with an additional 170,000 loot for $35. Now, when we're looking at that $35, I'm saying $20 for 30,000 loot in your battle pass and 144,000 loot for $15 in the Whispers cache. All right? That's kind of nuts. All right, now the battle pass comes with a lot of other stuff. It's worth it. All right, I'm not saying it's not, but for 15,000 or for 150,000 loot for $15, guys, the $100 loot pack doesn't contain 144,000 loot. All right, so you're looking right now at a guaranteed free to play minimum 390,000 loot with RNG odds to get more. And another 175,000 loot available for $35.
Plus whatever comes out tomorrow.
Yeah. Plus,
because they have another event series coming out tomorrow.
Plus, we've got one more thing that I want to talk about tonight, and we're going to do it on the other side of the break, which is the mandatory heroic. The mandatory heroic. Mimi and Tarpy have cracked a mathematical formula that will allow players an opportunity, not a guarantee, but a chance to complete and earn loot out of this heroic event free to play. Because that's what we do here at Talking Trek. We find ways to make you the most efficient and the best earner. And we're going to talk about the mandatory training heroic event on the other side of the break as we get ready to wrap up the show. My name is UltimatDJz. This is Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast, and we'll return right after these words. Don't go anywhere.
This program is made possible in part by a grant from Cocoa Tipsies, the breakfast cereal soaked in Kahlua.
It's time now for Stoned Movie Reviews. Stoned Movie Critics for Stoned Moviegoers.
It's a special 420 edition.
Hey, man, do you know why 420 is a national holiday?
It's not, dude.
But I'm not working today.
You're unemployed, dude. You don't work any day.
Oh, you're right. So why is it so special anyway?
The story is these high school kids in the 70s, used to smoke marijuana at 420 every day, man.
That's not impressive. I smoke every morning at 9:15.
But check it out, man. The number 420 became the code for marijuana. And these kids also called themselves the Waldos.
Wait. Where's Waldo invented 420?
No, man. That's what the group called themselves.
You know, I could never find Waldo, man. That guy is sneaky.
Anyways, what movie are we talking about today, dude?
I still can't get over Waldo invented a national holiday.
We'll be right back after my friend finds a clue.
And now, another exciting moment in golf on the radio.
And we're back here on 12 with Smith putting for a chance to par the hole.
And look at that grass, John. Have you ever seen grass that grassy?
Well, they tell me it's imported, Jack. It's called Bermuda Blue.
Wow, I wonder if they got that sand from Bermuda, too.
The sand is from Home Depot, as Smith is still lining up his putt.
Outstanding analysis, John. I love the garden section at Home Depot. The flowers, simply amazing.
Smith is still standing over the ball. Standing. Standing. Standing.
Do you think Home Depot can help me with my toilet?
This was another exciting moment in golf on the radio.
Here's a little ditty I wrote in the Oval Office about what's going to make America great again. I like the tariffs, but it makes the markets tank, I see. Oh, yeah. I like the tariffs, and hiking up China's especially. Way up. It was necessary. All around, the whole world frowns. And hey, some stocks are down. But the art of the deal I play skillfully. So each country has to pay a fee. 10% for now, that seems fair to me. So they pay. Look, they've been taking advantage of us for years, so we're doing it to them too. I like the tariffs. Doesn't help my popularity. You can bet on that one, I can tell you. I like the tariffs. They'll help us get rich eventually. It's all about negotiations. You know, down the road, we're going to be so rich, we'll probably wish we didn't have so much money.
Once in a while, you know it's a good parody when all of a sudden the chat erupts into conversation about one of the parody spots. Guys, it's satirical comedy.
Oh, boy.
All right. It's satirical comedy. It's not meant to inspire conversation. I just thought it was a great play on I Shot the Sheriff. I mean, I thought it was good. And now the chat's like, oh, God, and Boeing and the economy and China. Oh, lordy. Hey, Grouchy Outlaw says, yo, DJ, got a question. Tarpy, this is going to be a question for you. Grouchy Outlaw asks, is the Armada Refinery Prime worth it? Tarpy, what is the answer to that amazing question?
Yes, with the significant caveat: if you are G6, you might not need it anymore. If you are anywhere in G4 and G5,
1000%.
and you can swing it, get it.
Yeah. I would argue that it's even better for G4 than it is for G5. It's great for G5. It's exquisite for G4. Grouchy Outlaw says, I'm 56. It's a little late. It's a little late. I think I still would. Especially if you're grinding it, right? If you're grinding it because now the currency's available, then yes.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know that I would pay for it at this point, but I would definitely grind it for sure.
Well, G5 scrapping, per Scopely's Q&A from several months ago, is theoretically coming sometime this year. I have gotten 6 free uncommons in G5. So 6 free uncommon G5 ships through that refinery prime.
Yeah, that's a big one. Plus, if you're needing rare ACC cores, all right, that's going to help you catch up on those pretty quick. All right. So, yeah, I agree. Divine says you really shouldn't be investing a great deal of loot in the G5 armadas and chests until 57. Until 57. So, yes, worth it. I don't necessarily agree with that because there's so much loot available out there now. You can definitely keep your refinery stocked now, Divine. It's not like it was 2 years ago. You can keep the refinery going. But I do understand and appreciate the fact that you should, if you're struggling to get the loot, then there's an efficiency to waiting. I feel like that is a teaching topic that is old. I feel like that is no longer the case. All right, you can ride Whale Tail. You got starter chests out there. You can keep that refinery going. You absolutely can. All right. Caledon says, which prime are we talking about? Prime Armada Refinery. It basically gets extra pulls to the Armada pulls or the Armada refineries. It's pretty good. All right. Pretty daggone good. All right. Listen, the last thing that I want to talk about tonight with regards to event store loot is, again, how you can earn more. Okay? How you can earn more loot. And there was a new event that populated today that, by the way, should be celebrated. This event is beautiful. It's well written. There is math behind it. There is a strategic, expert mode way to play it, free to play, or you can buy it. Okay? Which, if you're going to create a monetized event, this is the way I like to do it. All right? I'm telling you, I'm not swooning because he's my friend. I am swooning because I appreciate, and I'm going to say this sincerely. We joked a little bit earlier about Echo being at the top of his game right now and that it'll never happen again. But I'm going to be very, very serious when I say he is clearly 100%, undoubtedly, keeping all of the feedback that we gave him as a community manager over the years and has incorporated it into the way he's building arcs. All right? This is an event, Tarpy, that Mimi has already finished. I think. Was it Mimi said they already finished it? All right?
No, he can't finish it yet, but
he's
other
going
people
to.
have finished it
He's going
because,
to.
yes.
People are going to. Matters
play.
is going to be able to. Matters is showing a bunch. I mean, listen, somebody said this is the easiest heroic that I have already finished. The easiest heroic I've ever done. Listen, this event right here is beautifully written, and I'm going to tell you why. Because A, it can be done free to play. All right? But B, you could also not do it free to play and still get decent partial progression. And you could flub up the strategy altogether and you'll still get some loot, just not as much as those who played it smart. And don't we love events like that? I do. I love puzzle events. I love events that give me a chance at the jackpot, especially if it's not RNG, especially if it's a chance that I can do it based on my skill. And that's what this event is. Timing, working the clock, strategy, and skill. Tarpy, let me just ask this question. This event has a heroic tag. Now, I, again, have gone back to Scopely, and I am personally endorsing the removal of the word heroic from the Scopely archives. All right, I am sick of these conversations. I am so sick of the fights in chat about whether or not something should be labeled heroic or not. I'm over it. Look at the event and decide what you can do. When we learned about heroic events, at that time, they were pay-only events. There was no partial progression. Okay? We've got to remember this. When heroics first came out, they were paid to participate. And we begged, we wanted, we demanded partial progression for free to play. Do we not remember this? Now, over time, they have incorporated that model. Over time, they are giving players partial progression. Over time, they are learning to create events that everybody can do some of, and then some people can do all of. The word heroic is no longer necessary. The word heroic belongs on an event that is literally prohibitive of participation without spending. You know where that goes? Not using the tickets that we know of now, but we have had tickets before that were pay only. Okay? We have had ticketed events before that were literally 100% pay only. That can be heroic. This event, not heroic. Heroic was never about completion. It was about participation. This event is partially completable by anybody. It is fully completable if you spend money. It's also fully completable if you are really savvy. And that's what I love about this event. Tarpy, you and Mimi developed a strategy. Mimi really kind of wrote the clock, and then you verified the math on it. It holds.
Mm-hmm. I mean, okay. To be fair, Mimi included all of the sources for him. I was making a list for about a half hour before that, and Retrieving was arguing with me.
Retrieving? So, I can't believe you would argue. My God, that's crazy. Well, imagine that.
Right.
No. Tell us what we're looking at here. I mean, with this particular event, you know, I tell you what. I'm going to pull up. So your purple chart. Can we start there? Can we start with the purple chart? All right.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pull this up into the chat right now, and I am going to post it with a timestamp of 11:33 p.m. Eastern Time in the graphics room. This is the Tarpy, explain what it is exactly that we're looking at here.
A chart that you just took a screenshot of a screenshot of.
For the graphics room.
Yeah, you could have just copy pasted it, but whatever. So this is technically for my ops. So every time I do one of these, I'm still going to caveat it with, I'm doing this for my ops and the events that I see. I did check with a G5 player, and they have the same milestones for G5 waves. So anywhere where you see G6 or 60 wave, substitute with G5 if you're a G5 player. Ops 50 to 59. So if you look at the left-hand side of this, the milestones for the event are there. So the bottom milestone is 7,500, and it goes up in 3 different gradations, right? So it is based on whether you can complete 3 waves of the description in the column, 4 waves, or all 5 waves. So how many sets of wave ciphers do you need in the period of this event to complete that heroic to a particular milestone with that number of waves? So for example, if you have the ability to finish the elite G6 wave Good for you. And you do not have, for some reason, the GS31, you would need 34 wave ciphers to complete if you only did wave 3. If you could only make it through wave 3. If you could make it through the elite wave, all 5 waves in G6, with no GS31, you would need 11 sets of wave ciphers. Now, this is rounding up for everyone who's doing the math out there on their own for themselves. This is technically rounding up. You don't necessarily need wave 5 every time, but you can't round down or have partial ciphers used. So I rounded up. Dragon Keeper, just look at the yellow thing if you have the GS31. You can finish the elite waves. You need fewer if you have the GS31.
What we're looking at mathematically, and I'm going to give a few examples that way people can draw it with the chart. Okay, based on the point scoring, you've got 4 different ways to score. You can do a traditional solo wave defense without the GS31. That's going to be your first column. Okay, a traditional solo wave defense with no GS31. You can do an elite solo wave defense also with no GS31. That is the second column. Okay, the third column is a traditional solo wave with the GS31. And then your final category is an elite solo wave defense with the GS31. Now, what we are seeing here, for example, let's pretend that we're doing the traditional solos. All right. And by the way, Riskbreaker, I already gave a timestamp, 11:33 p.m. All right. It's in the graphics room. If you are looking at traditional waves, and by the way, I am absolutely going to recommend, based on the math that I am seeing here, I am probably recommending, if you have the GS31, I'm going to recommend traditional waves, not the elites. Traditional. And I'll tell you why here in just a second. Now, if you don't have the GS31, you've got to really work the clock. You got to really work your cooldowns. You got to work these daily gifts. All right? You got to be careful. As a matter of fact, Mimi and Tarpy were actually mathing out clock times to the point where Mimi is going to be working his cooldown of the directives in the faction store and not claiming his gift until a certain period of time because he needs the 4-hour clock to be working down. Okay? So there's some real timing, some real mathematical strategy to working your cooldowns along with the gift chests. Okay? Because they are giving directives in a gift chest. All right? So Paulo says, I got it. You would need, for example, if you can only clear 3 waves of a traditional solo wave without the GS31, then you would need to run 66 waves. Now, Kaviji says there's no way to do this without buying ciphers, and at that point, you might as well buy the ship. Disagree. Okay?
You have to be strategic.
You have to be strategic.
Really strategic.
You have to be strategic. You got to watch your time. But yes, you can do it. As a matter of fact, Mimi and Tarpy have found sourcing on 22 starts. Over the course of this event, you could earn 22. All right? It's an 11-day event. It's an 11-day event. You've got some gifts. You're working your cooldown. All right? You will be able, if you're perfect, to earn 22 starts. Okay? Mord says if you start with 0, are you going to be able to earn? Tarpy, was that it? You will earn 22 plus whatever you might have had in your bank, right? No.
So Mimi started with 4, and that's part of where his math was coming from.
Okay.
So the difference here, so if I click back to Mimi's comment, where's the circle? Come back here. Where is that? So So you had a gift today. There were 3 wave starts in today's gift. There are up to 4 earned from the free claim if you work the timer. So it depends on how many ciphers you have right now. If you can claim one of those today, essentially, to be able to do more claims by the time the event is over, because you have to be under the cap to be able to do that claim. So there are 2 theoretically from next week's gift. There are
Why only 2?
potentially, that's presumed. So I think we kind of undershot
Okay, fair.
what we're assuming we get.
Because all the gifts have always been 3, so there's no reason to think that they won't
right.
be.
Well, Mimi has 2 here, so that might be a typo, but there's also some that are claimable from the free track of the Wave Battle Pass. And so I also want to keep reminding, we are doing this entirely on a free-to-play mindset.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't include anybody who has the bottom track of the Wave Pass. I didn't include anybody who might get the bottom track of the Battle Pass if there's any in there. So this is literally free to play. And also there are some of the wave ciphers in the milestones of the heroic event itself. So if you can get to a milestone, you get another wave cipher. So Mimi, at the time of the conversation when he posted this earlier, around 8 o'clock Eastern time, he had 4 solo wave starts in the bank. And so obviously this is going to be dependent on if you are free to play, if you are not, and how many you had banked to start. If you are Matters and you had 25 banked to start, you have a little bit more flexibility.
Which I think is insane.
You...
Matters showed 2,500 in his inventory because he's not been running them, which I thought was nuts. All right. But
yeah,
look, Dragon Keeper has 32 banked, which is insane. Andy's got 1,500 banks. I got 3.
I have been running as much as I need. I've been able to clear the 3 waves of the G6 epics or elites to get more section 31 loot. So that's fewer waves I need to run because those events have all been paying out section 31 loots, that series of events. And then other than that, I run the G6 regular ones, which I can clear all 5.
Exactly.
And I run as many as I need to
keep the refinery fed.
To do my polls.
That's fair. And I don't disagree with that because I've got a bunch of loot banked up. I got a lot of junk for my trunk. Now, I want to diverge, okay? Because we're running out of time, so I'm gonna be concise on this.
Yep.
If you are not running with the GS31, it is certainly much more challenging. Mord says this teaching is very subjective. I'm going to disagree. It's very niche, okay? I'm not going to call it subjective because you can still earn milestones. Partial progression is possible in this event, okay? Let's go back and look at that event one more time. Your first milestone is 7,500 points. If you clear wave 3 of a traditional, if you clear wave 5 of a traditional solo wave defense, which, by the way, many, many people can do based on the teaching from this show, then you would need 10 starts to hit the first milestone. That's it. 10 to hit the first milestone. And you're going to be earning starts as you go along. All right? So going back to what Mimi was teaching, even though somebody who's min-maxing this could earn 22, I believe that an average free-to-play could get 4 from your Wave Battle Pass, your free track. Somebody asked if they had already claimed that. That's challenging. I never claim any battle pass until it's advantageous to do so. I might be claiming my regular battle pass now because there's a syndicate event going on. You know, I claiming a battle pass for the sake of claiming it has always baffled me a little bit. I've always held it for something. But there's 4 of them there. Mord says that's not all players. Don't care. All right? Respectfully, not all players try to figure out how to max heroic events. That's why that's what we do. That's what we do. That's why we're here. Right? We're the 6%ers. We're the 6%ers.
Yeah, I
here.
did this so that people could plan out how many starts they have, how much time they want to put in, and how many waves they can rationally clear for the ships that they have. So if you can't get past wave 3 of a regular G6, G5, whatever the generationally appropriate one is, you would need 14 starts over the next 10 days to get to the first milestone. And the other thing is, this is not a lot of loot. There is not a lot of loot in this event, and I divided it up between, it looks like you can probably get 3 of the 5 milestones free to play, pretty guaranteed, if you can do most of the waves. So that's why it's split up into 2 places in the spreadsheet, but
3
you
would be
can look at this
3 would be
table and
tough.
say,
I would definitely be willing to concede 2. Because you're you're also going to get 2 more starts out of these milestones. You are going to get 6 starts out of gifts, and you will earn. Mimi has 4 if you work the clock. I'm going to assume 3 if you work your timer, your 3-day timer in the faction store. All right. So even if you didn't have any banked, fine. Even if you didn't claim the battle pass, or even if you already claimed the battle pass, not advised, but fine. All right. That is still 6, 9, 13. That's still 13.
1440.
Okay. 14 starts. 14 starts.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, 14.
That you can get just from the timer, just from the 2 gifts, and just from the milestones.
So it's not, well, it's not entirely free to play loot. Some of it is. It is a heroic. It's not intended to be easy. If you are keeping your directives at essentially 0, it is not supposed to be entirely easy. But people are also getting mad at the literal name of the event, DJs.
Mandatory, yeah.
Words.
Words.
Your game will not shut off if you don't do this event. Your game will still be there.
It says mandatory.
If you don't do it.
I have to. It says it's mandatory, guys. Darn it. All right, now listen. There's something else that I want to point out here. All right? I want to point out something else. For those of you who do have the GS31, okay? This event becomes stupidly obtainable. Now, granted, that's probably why it's labeled heroic, because you can buy the ship and you can definitely get through it. All right? But I just want to point out, we just identified 14 starts that you will earn. Mord. 100%. 14 starts that you can earn over the next 12 days. Okay? Guaranteed. As long as you're hitting your claims. 14 starts over the next 12 days. Even if you can only clear 3 waves of the traditional solo wave defense, you would only need 8 if you have the GS31 to finish the entire event. And this is why I say the elites, I'm not bothering with the elites. Now, I have the ship. So here's the second piece of strategy. If you have the GS31, you could look at doing it with the elites, but I'm probably not going to recommend it. Now, granted, you'll lose a little bit of the loot, right? You're going to lose a little junk in the trunk. But if you can do the traditional solo waves and you can clear them, you only need 4. If you could only clear 3 waves of the elite, you would only need 5. Okay? Thing is, I can't even clear wave 3. I have not been able to clear wave 3. The best I've been able to pull off is two waves in the G6 Elite. All right. So I'm going to have to do it with the regulars. All right. I'm going to have to do it with the regulars, and I still only have to sacrifice 4. Now, this is a super valid point. Lloyd says, listen, I get what you're talking about with this loot, but where I am, the loot in the Section 31 store, the access keys, are worth more than the event store loot. I don't necessarily disagree. I actually fully 100% agree with you on that statement, which is why, if you're going to do this event, I would like to do it with the least number of starts possible.
Yep.
The least number of starts. Yeah. The least number of starts. That way I am sacrificing the least number of directives for this event. In my case, if I have the GS31 and I run traditional solo waves, I only have to spend 4 starts. I only have to spend 4 starts, and the game has given me 14 of them over the next 12 days. All right? So I still have 10 more to be able to go and earn the access keys. All right? I still have 10 more that I can go and do that stuff. I agree with you. I think the access keys are wildly, wildly important, which is exactly why this chart's here. How do we spend the least number of directives to accomplish the goal? And if you can, and that is why in the chart we've got this broken up into paid loot, okay? 14,000 more paid loot in this event, because honestly, Tarpy's right, there's not a lot of loot in here, but you need the GS31 if you're going to max this event. I will also point out, now, if we were just comparing event store loot, fine.
Yep.
But I also want to point out the other rewards. 40,000 syndicate, 60,000, 80,000, 100,000 syndicate XP, and 20 Anorak shards.
What's going on right now for the next
dailies?
36 hours.
Oh. What do you mean what's going on?
Yeah, 8 minutes for dailies, but what's going on for the next 1 day and 12 hours?
I don't know. What?
If you can possibly make it through a syndicate event for the next 1 day and 12 hours, here's some syndicate XP if you can make it through a couple of milestones.
Ooh, syndicate XP. Okay. Near says, I'm incorrect. You have pulled 3 times. I don't know what pulled what? What 3 times? What am I incorrect on? Tell me. I don't know what you've pulled 3 times. But you've got 20 Anoraks. 20 Anorak shards in here. Anorex, who is a back-breakingly good officer in waves. Okay? Stupidly good. Plus, 100,000 syndicate is not nothing for anybody who's not maxed. Kill you. I see you. Bel Air says, which chest is this? This is not a chest. This is the event rewards for the heroic Section 31 mandatory training. Okay? Snake says, how does this math work? I get 2065 per normal G6 run to wave 3. Normal? No. Oh, you are using the GS31? Is that right? You're using the normal GS31? Sorry. You say you're getting 2065 per normal G6 run to wave 3. So if you're using the GS31, that is 2065. If you're doing normal, let's go back to the chart. Normal, where'd I go? I lost it.
Circle.
Where'd it go? I had it. Now it's gone. There we go. 2065 points for a normal with the GS31.
So 2065 at wave 3. So
yeah, I feel
just
like
for finishing wave 3, you get 2065 points.
Okay.
But If you have to finish wave 3, you have to finish waves 1 and 2, right?
Oh no,
Did I screw that math up?
I don't think that's working that way.
No?
Is it? Is it stacking, guys? Retrieving says it is stacking. Oh, Tarpy's right.
Should be.
Yeah, because I did a wave and I got points for it.
My God, it's stacking. Okay, well, there you go, Snake. That's how it's working. It's stacking, which makes sense, by the way. That's how it works in a normal wave. That's exactly right. That's how it works in a normal wave battle pass. Yep. I got it.
I got it. Card.
Yep, I got you.
It says...
You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
Because you can't finish wave 3 without finishing waves 1 and 2.
You're correct. I apologize. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
It's okay. Way to give me a heart attack.
Yeah, sorry. It gave me a heart attack too. All right. Yeah, it would be way worse if it wasn't stacking. The fact that it's stacking makes it a lot better. Okay. So yes, Snake, it stacks up. Now, also, here's the thing. Madrock says, does the GS31 have to survive? Yes. Which is a caveat. All right.
This is why it's heroic.
I consider it to be me personally, I consider that to be a bug. Okay. But it's a condition. That's what they're checking for. That's the only way to make the GS31 a scoring mechanic. It has to be in the system at the completion, at the defeat of the wave. If you don't defeat the wave with the GS31, you don't score the points for that wave. So if you feel like it's going to die, then you park it. You go at it with 2 ships. Cruzito said he actually likes the way it is. I mean, I'm telling you, mechanically, that's how it works. It's a condition. When you defeat the solo wave, if the GS31 is in the system, that means clearing the wave with the GS31. I mean, the language is clear, or the language is factual anyway. Clear the wave with the GS31. That means it's there when you clear the wave. Okay? That is the definition. That's how it's coded. All right? So, if it dies during that wave, you didn't clear that wave with the GS31. So you won't get the points for that round. So, the GS31 must survive. Forgotten Sex says, better to let another ship hit than let the GS31 die. Agreed. Absolutely. Okay. Retrieving says that they need to change the coding to make it if the GS31 is there on wave start. Nah, I don't think I agree with that. The scoring metric says to clear the wave. I kind of agree with the way it's written. All right. I do kind of feel like it started out as a bug. All right, but I understand why it's working the way it is, and they're working with the scoring metrics that they've got. I don't think this is exactly what the perfect intent was, but this is what we got. All right. Lostin says, I actually think it's working perfectly, to be honest. All right, and so does Cruzito. So there you go. All right. Retrieving says it removes the condition for GS31 wave survival. Well, I mean, but that was the condition. Survive the wave. Clear the wave with the GS31. Okay? There you go. That is how you do it. So, having the GS31 is definitely an advantage in this. Okay? By all means, it's an advantage. Not suggesting that it's not. However, if you do not have the GS31, then I do see this event probably for the common player not being completable. But you can definitely do some of it. You can definitely earn some loot. Tarpy is suggesting that with the free starts, and Mimi is agreeing, with the free starts only that are being earned over the next 10 days, not assuming anything banked up, not assuming that you're claiming your wave battle pass, but just off of what they're giving in the next 10 days, they're saying that the first 2 milestones of this event should be free to play. I concur. We have added 9,600 loot to the free to play column. All right. Forgotten Sex says free to play should be able to get several milestones of this heroic. That's a win. We are For the purposes of our free-to-play loot count, I'm here to tell you, whether you like it or not, judge me or not, we are considering the first 2 here to be free-to-play. All right? Nowhere Man says there's no free-to-play loot here for people early in the G4 or G5 generations. Disagree.
Yes, there are.
Yeah, I disagree.
I have that calculation in there too.
Yeah, we disagree with that statement as well. All right? Because there are crews and there are ways to do it.
And DJs, you can see in the purple column, it says Ops 40. So I legitimately did a calculation for things that are specifically for Ops 40, which includes none of the wave content and none of the ship-related content, because that's all 42 or 45 plus. So 45 plus. So I specifically did a calculation to see if Ops 40 would get how much loot, and if you scroll slightly to the right, it will tell you how much they should get. Because I knew this question was going to come up.
Yeah. Now,
scroll up.
Hang on. The question in the chat is, I am a G6 and I can't clear wave 3 of the 60s, even the traditional solos. We could probably get you there, Nowhere Man. There's probably some crewing and some tools and some boost. We can probably get you there, bro. All right. Even the traditional solos, well, then we've got some work to do. So there's some crewing, there's some tools. We can get you there, bro. All right? We've done a lot of teaching on this. Even Ops 45 are able to clear their waves. All right? So we've got, ask people in the Discord. We've done some previous content. All right, we've done some previous content. I'm not going to recap that right now because we're out of time for tonight. But you can definitely clear wave 3. Like, I will personally guarantee you, with the right combination of officers and boost, you can absolutely 100% guaranteed clear wave 3. If you are, even a reasonably developed G6 player. What's your ops, Nowhere Man? Paulo says if DJs can do it, anybody can. Shut up.
Burn.
Putt says, I can clear wave 3 of a 60 with a tribby and a tally. What? A tally? Putts, Italios.
Yeah, I did it. I did it a couple of nights ago. I barely, by the skin of my teeth, did, because I just wanted to see what they would be like. But my maxed out tribby, my maxed out tally, and my maxed out NX was able to get through wave 3, and I had 1 hit left.
Damn. Okay.
Dang.
That is pretty impressive. Whole segment with a very clear disclaimer that it was going to be very, very niche. But even then,
your Twitch is down.
Is it really? How
Spinny
is that?
Circle of Death.
Why? Yeah, I see that. Is YouTube still going?
I don't know.
Yeah, YouTube looks fine.
Oh.
So Twitch, is it back?
Did
we make it back in time? All right, it looks like I'm still...
Oh, event reset broke it.
The event reset didn't break Twitch, but it does show that it's back.
Why not?
YouTube looks like it never left. David said it was buffering for a second, but we're back. Is Twitch back? Oh, my.
Seems so.
Is Twitch back? All right, we'll see. Anyway, I was never suggesting, and I even gave the caveat that this event was going to be partially completable by a lot of people. All right? Finishing this event is going to be extremely difficult. Extremely difficult without the GS31. But it is mathematically possible if the right set of conditions are met. And that's where I think Mord, for example, and Retrieving and a couple of others got a little upset earlier because they had already done this and the teaching is contradictory to that and it doesn't apply. And I get it. All right. But with the right set of conditions, you could min-max this thing. But even without that, you can still earn a good chunk partial progression and be able to get some stuff. And that is what we're counting on. 2 milestones. That's it. All right. 2 milestones. All right. I do feel like
300,000, by the way.
What?
300,000 event store loot for Ops 44 and down as of right now.
For Ops 44 and down. So for the people who asked. Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, still 300,000 is strong. Okay. It's a strong number. All right. Is you know what? I still feel like I'm not getting any chat responses from Twitch. Here, let me refresh. Maybe we broke something. Maybe it's broken.
I think Putz broke it.
Putz, why'd
Putz
you break
broke it.
stuff? Why are you breaking stuff, Putz? Oh, okay, there's retrieving. Now it's working. It's been back. Now I can read it matters.
Battery.
It was gone, but now, okay, Twitch is back. We can hear you. It's OBS. Breaking news from Putz. Breaking things. Blame Putz. It's all Putz. Putz.
I mean, if Putz can do a G6 wave through wave 3 with a G4 epic, I feel like people with G6 ships and G5 ships should be able to do G60 waves.
I think so too. Right? Especially at least partial, right? At least wave 3. I think that's a thing. All right. If some of you guys responded in chat, then I will apologize because I have missed a couple of things. My chat is not refreshing, and it looks like we lost a few seconds of the stream. I'm not sure what happened there. Podcast will have it, but I called out retrieving and I called out Mord, and now I can't see if they're yelling at me in chat. I mean, I didn't call them out meanly. I just said I understand why you're frustrated. It's a niche thing. Mord is mad because he claimed his battle pass and he doesn't want to necessarily be caught hoarding. And I get that. I understand that. I totally do. All right? Which is why I'm saying that this particular event would be extremely, extremely difficult to complete without the GS31 or without even hoarding a bunch of stuff. But it is possible. And that's what we try to point out to people. If you claim the battle pass, that's not something that I would have personally done. But if you did, I get that. So it's probably less likely that you'll be able to complete this free to play without the GS31. All right. But you can at least get some milestones and therefore get some loot. And if you do have the GS31, that's the money. All right. I'll say with the ship being as good as it is with the refinery, and then the ship being as good as it is in wave defense, all right, with the multi-shot, just the refinery alone, all right, this ship is, I feel, a solid investment this month. Coach says I'm free to play, no ship, and I get that. Okay, I do. If you were ever going to consider buying a specialty ship, I'm going to suggest that you give a good, long, hard thought to this one. Not only is it a valuable ship, okay? Not only is the ship parts refinery extremely valuable at very early tiers, but I'm also going to suggest look at the amount of event store loot that is behind this ship. There's a lot of loot behind this ship. Like a ton of loot behind this ship, as in hundreds of thousands of loot behind this ship. If you like what's in the event store, even, this may be a ship that is worth investing in just for the store benefits. Talking event store and the refinery, the ship parts. Okay, matters. Dragon Keeper says, well, half that loot is gone. You can't get it anymore. There's still hundreds of thousands available. We're only halfway through the arc. There's still going to be hundreds of thousands available. All right.
And some of that's still available because you could go buy the Lynx packs that's in there. And we'll have at least one more round of those wave events.
Yeah, there's at least one more round of the wave events. And I agree, you can't count, the 24,000 in the build ship, but you do have the Section 31 Omega Sigma Theta events that will come. You've got, you don't even need it for the premium cash. I mean, honestly, maybe not. Maybe not, Mimi. There's not that much loot locked behind owning the ship itself. Well, I don't know.
168,000.
Yeah. And a lot of that has already expired. In fairness, a lot of that has already expired. Short says, I have no interest in another $100 specialty ship. Here's why this one's different, Shorts, and I totally understand your perspective on that, because I do. I totally do. The reason that I am okay with this one is because of what it does for my ship parts refinery. That ship parts refinery, I mean, it's really good. We did the math on this on the last show. Every 30 days, it will actually source you approximately $200 worth of rare ship parts. You know what I'm saying? And that is at the earliest tier. So for G6, for me, a G6 player, it at tier 6 of the ship, it starts sourcing $200 worth of rare parts in a month. And then it goes up from there. That's tier 6. No, it's not tier 7, Robotsky. It's tier 6. I've got that chart. I can show you the chart. It is indeed tier 6, if I can find my little special chart. You know what? It's on the STFC website. Let me just go back there. I'll pull that up for you. News. And then we're going to get ready to wrap up
You're
the
right.
show.
It's tier 6.
It is tier 6. I know I'm right. I know I'm right. Why is my page in Spanish? What did I do? My page is in Spanish. All right, here it is. Here you go. GS31 refinery for G6 starts rare parts payout right here at tier 6, 90 a day. Robotsky or Dragon Keeper said it's only 25 rare. No, not for G6. It was Dragon Keeper. They buffed the refinery with the mid-month patch because it wasn't really that great. I would agree with you, Dragon Keeper, 72 hours ago because it was only 25 parts. They buffed them. Look at these numbers now. Hey, G5 players, starting at tier 3, you earn 150 rare G5 parts a day, starting at tier 3. Hey, G4 players, as soon as you unlock the ship, you're earning 470 rare G4 parts a day. As soon as you unlock the ship. All right. Now, Dragon Keeper says, why did they say 90 and not a nice even 100 number? Well, that's tier 7. Tier 7 gets 100. Tier 8 gets 110. Tier 9 gets 125. And it goes all the way up to 215 a day. So at 90, we did this math. At 90 a day, starting at tier 6, that's $200 worth of rare parts over the course of 30 days. Oh, now Dragon Keeper's a believer, Tarpy. Look at that. Oh, now I'm buying the ship. Well, that was what they were going for, I believe. All right, because the original numbers weren't that great. But this is the ship parts refinery. The ship parts are very, very valuable. This is probably a good thing now. So you look at the ship shorts if you need ship parts, right? Then you can look at the event store loot, and I understand it's a specialty ship, and I get all that. I totally do. All right? But this ship, it stands up. You know, it stands up in what it's paying. And the ship itself is probably going to develop into something very, very nice. It's already developing into a really solid ship. The DPR and the stats are there. It's probably... Okay, here. Let me show you this shorts real quick. And I know you're a member of the VIP community, so you know Jonathan. You know Jonathan Ingram. Now, granted, Jonathan Ingram is a very, very special case, okay? He is a man among boys. He is the king among paupers, all right? Jonathan Ingram literally has beat the game and plays it now to just troll everybody. All right? But here's... and this... And Cruzito said, that kill is all Forbidden Tech and Chaos Tech. Listen, you say whatever it is you want to say, okay? Yes, he was using Forbidden Tech. Yes, he's using Chaos Tech. He was using full PvP. But it still did that. Okay? It still killed an Enterprise E. Paulo says, show me the lower deck. Why does it matter? All right? The lower deck is stacked, by the way. It's complete. He could not do it in a Rialta Caledon. Give me a freaking break. All right? Cruzito says you can do that with a Rotaran. I agree. Okay? Which is exactly the point we made the other night. If this ship can do what a maxed Rotaran can do, then is it a bad ship? If you're equating this specialty ship to a maxed Rotaran, that doesn't make it bad. That actually makes it stronger than a lot of other specialty ships. It actually makes it worthy of being an actual combat ship. It holds its own with a strong ship. So, I kind of feel like that in itself actually speaks to the value of the ship if it's equivalent to a maxed Rotaran. Okay? So, cool. All right. But I totally understand your reservation, Shorts. And I'm not necessarily saying you got to go do it or anything. I'm just saying this one does represent more value than what we have traditionally seen in specialty ships. Riskbreaker summarizes saying it's not a one-trick pony, and I think that's valid, fair, and an accurate statement. It is indeed not a one-trick pony. Okay. Tarpy, I think we covered everything. We covered the loot. We covered the store. We covered the mandatory heroic. We covered the Whispers event. And, Tarpy, you said that the calendar has one more secret, mysterious meta that's popping tomorrow that we don't know anything about. Is that right?
Well, it says Easter event, so there's probably a bunny somewhere.
Oh, yeah, I did read something
Maybe
about
some
that.
eggs.
Yeah, there were eggs they were going to do. Let's see.
With event store loot, do you have any suggestions?
Huh? What?
What?
What did you say?
Suggestions. Do you have any suggestions or thoughts, ideas?
On?
It's a news item, yes.
What is a...
I mean...
Try again with a complete sentence. I'm sorry.
What are you asking?
No,
What are you
I'm
asking?
tired.
What are you asking right now?
People read the chat. People are asking for hints.
Phone, ball, remote. Moonavine.
I don't like you right now.
Coaster.
I don't like you right
Smurf.
The tables have turned.
I don't know. I actually don't know what you're asking. Genuinely, please ask me what you're asking, and then I'll try to answer.
I literally answered you before you listed off a bunch of nouns. People are asking for leaks about the event.
The event tomorrow?
It's
Yes.
explained in the blog post.
I know, and I said that. People are still asking if DJs has more information.
I do not have more information. All I know is what you guys know, that there will be tomorrow, there will be 3 intelligence eggs that are being released. You're going to need to go find these eggs. My sneaking suspicion is this is going to be a clue-style scavenger hunt. Okay? That's what I expect to happen. Then on day 2, there's going to be another one. On day 3, there's going to be another one. Day 2's event will be available for 3 days. Day 3's event will be available for 2 days. So even if you don't log in tomorrow, all right, you are going to be able to make this event up because the event tomorrow is available for the entire event. So even if you log in, like you missed tomorrow, you log in on day 2 or day 3 or day 4 or even day 5, this looks like a 5-day event, all right? Even if you log in on day 5, you will still be able to go back and actually fully complete the event. It's called Shadow Nest, and all I really know at this point is that you will be finding them, okay? If you go and you find these eggs, you are going to earn extra event store loot and then an avatar and frame, all right? The way that this is going to work is that these eggs are going to appear in certain areas of the game. When it goes live, it'll be there the entire time, and then it'll be directing you to a location in the game to go and do something. Okay. Also, just as a quick reminder, starting tomorrow after event reset and for the duration of the 5 days, there will be a special promo code, EGGS25. That will earn another 6,000 event store loot. Okay? So I don't know if Tarpy's got that in the sheet yet, but there's another $6,000 completely free with the promo code EGGS25. All right? So look for the eggs, go find it, claim your stash. If you collect all 9 eggs, then you're going to get a big stash of event store loot and it looks like your alliance is going to get some stuff too. Claiming the egg will grant a free alliance gift. Karkin had mentioned this during one of the previous events this month, how like if you complete an event, then you triggered an alliance gift that had a little bit of loot in it. Sounds like it's going to be something kind of like this. By doing this event, you are actually going to be earning event store loot for not only yourself, but also your alliance. So the alliance members, the more alliance members that do more, are also going to get you more loot. Okay? So, the more players in your alliance participate, the more loot. You collect all 9 eggs, you get loot. And you can get more loot by using promo code EGGS25. Okay? Unfortunately, that is all I know, which sounds like a lot. But it's not, because all of this information is in the in-game news and on the website already. So, but don't anybody feel fretty or worried about not being able to log in every single day, because they have specifically designed this event to be able to be completed in one day if you log in on days 3, 4, or 5. Okay? On day 1, you're not going to see day 2 or day 3's event. But by day 3, all of them will be up, and it'll last for the rest of the 5 days. Paulo says, that wasn't a leak. Lame. I know. I don't have anything else to leak. All right? But I am here to tell you what we do know, which is what everybody could already know. But if you get your information here, then I appreciate that. And thank you very much for being a part of our community. And do appreciate the 260 of you that stuck around after we had a small little outage there. How long did the Twitch outage last? Can anybody?
About a minute.
About a minute? Well, that's not too off.
Minute or two, yeah.
It didn't reset the stream, so that is good. It couldn't have been more than 1 minute because it did not reset the stream. So that's actually really good. I would have been very upset if it reset. And YouTube never lost, doesn't look like, which is weird and surprising. But, anywho. Okay. Riskbreaker says Wrath of Khan next month. Divine says Wrath of Khan next month. Why would you expect me to know that? Much less tell you. Why would I tell you that now? And why would you think that? It would make sense.
Can I make a really bad pun?
It would make sense because it was in the roadmap. Yes, Tarpy, what's your pun?
Because you can tell us?
Jeez. Good Lord. Divine said it was in the VIP news. Wait, was it?
Divine, are you in VIP?
Hold on. Where's the magazine? Somebody send me the magazine. Somebody send me the magazine.
Is this the one with the panda interview?
Where did the magazine say that it was coming? I don't remember. Where's the daggone magazine? It was.
Oh, was it the riddle at the end?
It was the riddle. So the riddle said that it was coming next month. I know I gave you the link, but I don't have it handy now. I don't remember it.
Oh, come on.
I don't have the. I don't have it handy.
Rumble.
Mord says Wrath of Khan is definitely the next arc. It was the clue to complete. Well, there you go. What did it actually say?
Hey, hold on.
I know, Fisty. Robotsky says checking now.
There you go.
Where'd you put it?
It's in my DM.
Okay. Oh, nice. There we go. Okay. Boom. Going to pull that up on screen very quickly. This, by the way, is Star
Ice
Trek.
Wolf wants to throw poo at you.
Star Trek Fleet Command, the magazine. Okay, there you go. I turned on stickers. You can throw poop for just a second because we're getting ready to end the show. So there was a puzzle. There was a riddle in here, is what you're saying?
I think it was at the end, right?
Thanks, Ice Wolf. Ice Wolf just flung poo.
Oh my god, that's perfect.
Oh, Broken Wolf. Oh my god. This is good. You guys all make me very mad. Come on, guys. Jeez. Oh my god.
Okay, we can't see the riddle, people.
Yeah.
Don't throw it on the riddle.
This is awful. I'm turning stickers off. Thank you, Broken Wolf. All right, stickers are back off now. I turned them off, Wolffoot. It's done. We're not sticking around for that here at the end of the podcast. So this was the code that they were talking about in Star Trek Fleet Command, the magazine. I will, you know what? Just for funsies, I'm going to post this in the graphics room. This will be my final little gift for you here tonight. Here is a puzzle for those of you who love puzzles. There is the objective. There is the clue. There is the cipher. It is in the graphics room at 12:26 a.m. In the graphics room. Leaks. Oh yeah. Now listen. This is the code has expired. Well, it's not. It was never. Oh, it was meant to be a game code. Just solve the puzzle. Have fun with the puzzle. Okay. Just have fun with the puzzle. Okay. That's all you got to do. Lost In says, "My God, the first sentence gives it away. A mysterious transmission echoes through the depths of space. Its origin lost in the fabric of..." Hang on a second here. If I'm going to do this, Tarpy, for a little bit of entertainment here at the end of the show, we're at least going to do it with a decent soundtrack, okay?
Squirrel voice?
Yeah, no.
Squirrel voice.
No. Here.
What? Squirrel voice.
A mysterious transmission echoes through the depths of space. Its origin lost in the fabric of time. A name spoken with fury reverberates like a ghostly whisper through the void. Only those with the sharpest minds and the keenest instincts can unlock its meaning. Good luck to you, Commander. Your clue is as follows. A man once proud, now filled with hate, left on a world to rot with fate. A captain's past, a deadly scheme, a tale of vengeance, fire, and scream. Through nebulous cloud, the battle is fought, a test of wits, a lesson taught. A friend is lost, a price is paid, a sacrifice in light and shade. A villain's wrath, a hero's pain, a final cry, yet not in vain. What is this tale of vengeance drawn? All right, I feel like that was actually fun. That was a good little soundtrack right there. That was good. Carl! All right. Kilroy, I like your question. Kilroy says, I have a question for you, DJs. You've mentioned here recently about saving trait XP for the future. Is it worth buying trait XP in the event store? Maybe.
That's in 30 seconds.
I like that question. I like that question, Kilroy. I don't know if it's going to be worth buying it in the event store. But I mean, more of it isn't bad. And I'm telling you, I haven't been spending my ATA credits here lately. Well, how about that? Look at that, everybody. Look at the time. We're going to have to go. There you go. All right. I didn't say nothing. I said nothing. I just did a little dance with my eyebrows. Guys, thank you very much. Voltron, good night to you. Go get some sleep. Tarpitude, thank you for your teaching tonight. You and Mimi were amazing. Thank you so much for your teaching. Matters. Wolfwood, Karkin, thank you for your commentary and your expert advice on the panel. As always, I appreciate you guys all. Thank you for being a part of our show. As we get ready to wrap up here tonight, I would like to thank each and every one of you for being a part of our show here tonight. Oh, I got to give away a battle pass. Okay, stick around. I'll do that right after we end the podcast because podcast audience wouldn't be able to win it anyway. So I will do it. Stick around for 3 more minutes, and I'll give away a battle pass here on the show, okay? That's what we'll do. Thank you guys very much for being a part of the show. I'd like to invite you to visit our website at TalkingTrekSTFC.com, TalkingTrekSTFC.com, where you can find links to all kinds of stuff. You can find links to our Patreon, right? You can go to the Patreon, you can get a membership there and earn cruise entries. You could find our YouTube channel and go over there and subscribe to YouTube Gold, the Gold membership on our channel, and earn cruise entries that way. You can also go and find our address where you can mail a postcard, where you can earn free cruise entries that way. And you, too, will be able to enter the contest to win a free cruise aboard Star Trek The Cruise coming up in February 2026. All the information is available on our website and Discord. Thank you, guys. You will also be able to find a link to our merchandise store, where Candy has been very, very busy putting up new products, including new can koozies and a new water thermos, Tarpy, that is in the theme of our Ghost Energy custom drinks. All right. Yeah, I think it's actually really, really cool. So be sure to go check that out. Exclamation point merch, or visit us on our website at TalkingTrekSTFC.com. I really appreciate all you guys. Thank you. I have a cat stuck in limbo. Wait, what? Oh, you want more stickers? No, I don't want the stickers. I don't want the stickers. All right.
World Vice.
No, why? I don't want to do it.
Because someone bought it.
Why? God bless it. I hate this damn thing. Thank you very much. To everybody who supports our channel, thank you to all of our Patreon members. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pull that up and I'm going to read that real quick. I haven't done that for a minute, have I? Let's see. Where are you at? Where are you at? Where is it? Where's my subscriber list? Oh, Lord, I can't find it. I've lost my subscriber list. Oh, here it is.
Okay.
Hey, thank you to Lord Neelix, Lady Cass, Iron Step, Virtual Armin, Mechrack, Shady Pines, Lobot, Ripper, Supergirly Loves the Mind, Rocky Mountain, Tagora, Living in Griffin's Head, Renegade, Ramsusi, Hank, Ace, D-Ticker, MC101, Wayfarer, Louis P, Blue Plague, Pez Loco, Chris, Gopher, Grog, Edward, Archangel, Smoke Mohawk, Jet Ski, Papa Smurf, Madam Stargazer, Jason, Captain Jack, Patrick, Seaman, Vanium, Scorpionis, and Honey, Indominus, Casey Jones, Galen, K92, Sir Tail, A-Fox, Judge Crane, Baminkus, Captain Q, King Jr., Vegas, Admiral Inwater, Scarlet Hawk, DJ's got rated again, Jaga, John Adams, Never Go Full Tilly, Blue Mandalorian, Noxus, Accipiter, Furbax, Dr. Link, James, Clueless One, 70x7, Gunner, Captain Anders, Unimatrix, Gordography, Adric, The Web, Balabom, Medic 213, J-Babes, Dark Knight, Pixelate, Scribbler, Buddy, Luke, Spectre, Captain Yam, UK Nico, Diva Dorsal, McLovin, Griffin, Bearbutt, Thomas, Matters, Shannara, Illuminati, Captain Jack, Andalisha, Engineer, Jadzia, DJ's Better Refine More, ISO, Transparental, Sweet and Psycho, Lieutenant Tom Collins, Radio Dad, Check, Fisty, Django, Spock, Dastros, and Stoffel. Thank you for your support of the channel.
My name is UltimatDJz. This has been a presentation of Talking Trek, recorded in front of a live studio audience and is a registered trademark. I am your friendly neighborhood cat person, saying meow for now, love you, mean it. We'll catch you on the next episode of Talking Trek Live, Star Trek Fleet Command's official podcast. Can we stop the recording now? Okay. Cool. And that's over. Now, I'll pop back on screen very quickly, and I'm going to give away a battle pass, and then we will go. Okay? How's that? Ladies and gentlemen, exclamation point play. Exclamation point play in the chat, and you now have an opportunity to win one free battle pass. One free battle pass. Hi, Night Diver. How are you? He says, huh? Huh? I don't know what you were asking. But I am going to give away a battle pass. Just one free battle pass. That's what we're going to give away. We got to quickly do it. You guys got to get signed up. 30 more seconds because we got to take ads in 4 minutes, and I would like to raid out before that time. Tarpy?
What?
I don't know what I was going to say. Let's turn the orchestral music back on. No, I don't want that one. Let's do this one. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
This is a good one. All right, 20 seconds left. Exclamation point play for you to win a free battle pass.
Broken Wolf wants a sticker.
Broken Wolf wants a sticker. Okay, there you go. I turned them on. 10 seconds. Night Driver. It's Night Diver. I see it now, but I said driver at first. Night Driver. I was thinking of Knight Rider and then Driver and then Diver. I am the one talking about my Long Johnson. All right, here we go. 10 seconds left. Exclamation point play. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it on. For a free battle pass, 120 people are in the race. And here we go. The balls have been submerged into the beautiful, sparkling, icy cold water as we progress and head towards this rocky waterfall. Look at all the balls going over the edge, and there they pummel into the waters where there are more traps. Cruzito is moving his way right along here. I hate you, Amber. Oh, look at that. Somebody just got bumped. Sin of the Dark just got bumped into first place. Oh, but there's a lot of traps in here. Oh, Sin of the Dark just got bumped backwards, but then so did Kelmari. Oh, man, what is happening here? We got a lot of balls getting bounced around here. Now Fisty is in first place, but not for long. Fisty's balls are bouncing off of the rocks. He is still in first place for the moment. Oh, and what a lucky bounce! Fisty just got a huge lucky bounce. Thad, Maxman, Trader, Broken Wolf, and there it is. Trader just finished. Trader finished the race in first place. Thad in second place. Congratulations, Trader is the winner of our battle pass. Look at you. Woo! Congratulations to you there, Trader 1. Be sure to DM me over on Discord right away. DM me on Discord if you want your battle pass, if you want a wave defense pass, you want any of the things, be sure to let me know. It might be, I just got a round of packs out, so it's probably going to be longer. It won't be right away. It'll probably be next week. Iron Chef with another top 10 finish. I know he's got a very good streak of luck here right now. Tarpy says, could you do the $15 cash? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you want to spend $15 instead of $20, I'm fine with that. All right, so be sure to DM me over on Discord, and I'll get you set up. Congratulations, Trader 1. I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot, and I'll put it in my notes. Winner of Battle Pass. Okay, there we go. All right, with that, we've got 20 seconds. I've got to raid out, or it's going to send you guys to ads. Where are we going? We got to go quick. We got to go quick. You know what? Case is on tonight. Case is a big Star Trek fan. Let's go check out Case.
Go.
We're going to go check out Case tonight. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate you guys all, one and all, for being here. Tarpy, have a wonderful night. Matters, Karkin, you guys have great nights. We will catch you guys on the next one. I'll see you this weekend. You guys have a wonderful night. Bye, everybody.